because somebody wanted to attack this guy. So let me move you guys to the map. I didn't have time this week to really furnish the place. So that table that you're about to see is just the table that he has in his entry room, or his receiving room. Let me get you guys some tokens, quick.
Oh boy,
I have to pull you guys up. How is everybody doing?
Doing well. Here in New Jersey, just had a whole lot of people over the weekend, and they're all gone, thankfully. So you can just sit back and relax a little bit. Think about cleaning up tomorrow.
Oh, very nice. The table needs to be shorter. How was everyone's 4th of July?
I'm back.
Hello. I don't know how everyone was settled up, so just set you guys' stuff up the way you would. And what were you saying, Zadie?
Oh, I was just in my 4th of July. I just slept all day because I had the.
Okay.
So I'm just seeing a blank screen. It's all white.
Make sure you can scroll somewhere.
Wait, it's all white?
No,
For me,
you're
it's
good.
all white.
No.
I'm scrolling around, but I'm not seeing it, unless it's in the middle or something.
Use the top right thing to zoom all the way.
Yeah, because it's a black background.
All right, I'll just refresh.
So it shouldn't be white at all.
All right, yeah, now I refreshed the screen, and now it's there.
Here we go.
Perfect.
Wow, that's a big place.
You're currently in a manor, an estate for the Blackwells, and a certain man by the name of Oaklith, yeah, Blackwell, has made the acquaintance of the party, but it seems as though in his angry mood, he was not very hospitable as a host, and Takumi took great offense to that, and is currently attacking one of the most powerful men in the city in his own home. So that is what's going on right now.
No, we can explain. It was all a misunderstanding.
Does anybody want to do a full session recap, or can I get a volunteer?
The main thing I remember was that we were having a big long conversation with Jorah, and then we sort of ended with a sense of urgency, but nothing. I don't remember specifically what we were going to do, and then that was I guess 3 weeks ago. And then there wasn't you had an event with your sister, I think, and then I missed last week, so I think there was only one session I missed.
Yeah, so basically, while I'm trying to get Jorah's, this is the first time I have to put Jorah on a battle map, so just give me one. Oh, wait, he's right there. Where did he come from? Oh, wait, can you control that? No, let me give you control over it. 1 second. While I do this. So basically, the party split up. Duck, Jack, and Jorah went to go check on the capes, even though they were told it would be a week. They showed up the very next day. That was not yet done. They got yelled at for that. We had Irisvale, Mercalli, you went with Takumi and Ragnar, all went over to the Earl's house, Earl Blackwell's house, sent him a letter to have him because he wasn't around. He was at his keep on the southern side of the city, requesting his presence. And then Niklas had a little run-in with Mariana, who had attempted to poison Niklas. However, Niklas, being quite the investigator, figured out that something was afoot and didn't fall for the trick of the poison, ending up deceiving Mariana into thinking he had the poison, at which point Mariana revealed herself as the hag who you almost killed in Brewery, who had snuck away, killed the actual Mariana, taken her form, and then who you had inadvertently healed from the cusp of death. She knocked Niklas out before guards came to save the day. Niklas being saved from the clutches of death, what's her name? Miraleth. That's her actual name. The hag Miraleth ended up casting a fireball and killing a group of 20 guards before pointing at Ragnar, who had shown up, and you, who had shown up, to help Niklas. She ended up pointing at the three of you, saying, "I'm not finished with you yet. Like, I have more business with you." And then you had successfully found out what spell she cast because she snapped her fingers and disappeared. It turns out she casted a plane shift spell and is on another plane of existence right now, and none of you are magically enough inclined to figure out where she went or how to get there. At which point, you return to the manor. Yes, Ragnar had robbed the manor. You returned to the manor. Blackwell was arriving. Oaklith Blackwell. And he was not happy. The bells were ringing within the main proper, alerting everyone of an attack. And so he was not happy about that and about a few other things. Showed up in a rather rare mood and got into an argument with a few party members. And then Takumi, having had enough, deciding this was not a good man, drew his blade, and I made everyone roll initiative. And that's where you are.
Is he on this map right now?
No, he's
No.
not.
Where would he be?
Oh, he is on the map right now. This was
Which
gonna
one
be
is it?
him. Right here.
Oh, okay. Cool.
You were not face to face. Takumi's face to face with him. Takumi walked right in front of him.
Okay.
Yeah, but he would have, like, presumably, where would he have sat or
He
gone
didn't sit.
during the
He
conversation?
stood the whole conversation. The
He
conversation was
stood
like
right
a
by the
minute.
door, so then we were this
Yeah,
far
you-
away.
Yeah, you stood up and walked
Alright.
to him.
At the very end.
Yeah, that's when combat's.
Yeah. Well, I just mean,
He
like,
didn't see. You were sitting at the head. He didn't seat himself. He stood standing.
Okay.
He's there. I have to put the other two guards. I don't have any good. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be using the bandit ones because I don't have any good ones for the guards. There's two guards.
A man in the company of bandits.
How very
Two guards
suspect.
here, and I'm gonna put 4 guards down here, but they're not in the building. Hold on 1 second. 3, 4. Okay, was there any other... Wait, can you control Jorah? Ragnar, are you able to control him? Robbed and blind, yeah. No, the room is not empty because they got robbed blind. The room is not is empty because making a very detailed battle map takes a very long time, and I was busy this week, and I did not plan for this combat encounter. So, Takumi attacking them threw me for a loop. A very big loop. But, give me 1 second. Was there anything else that happened that anyone wanted to bring up, or did I cover?
We each got 550 XP.
That is true. You're not yet level 5, sadly. So this is not going to be an easy fight. And Mr.
That's actually incredible. We can definitely use that for like some intel or something, man. But like, thing is
that's Caleb City, dude. He's so funny. What's it called? Okay, 1 second. I gotta pull up all these sheets, guys. Here it is. Yeah, put yourself where you think you were standing. I think Iris Vale and Maricali, I think the two of you were,
I think I would have been like sitting.
Yeah, would be sitting by the table. You could choose wherever you want to be sitting by the table. Okay. Being against the door for balance and support. That's fine. That's right, because you did just kind of walk in. And you're all healed up. Jack, you've done all your spells and all that to heal him?
Yeah, I used cure wounds on him.
Okay. Oh, second. All right, can everyone roll initiative for me? You guys did already. Just re-roll. It's fine.
Hey. Oh.
Okay. Okay.
I think that's the same initiative I got last time.
All right. Let me pull up cards so I can organize these. So much on my table. So Ragnar, you are going first. Actually, Takumi, you're going first, then Ragnar. Takumi, because I'm gonna call that a surprise round because he didn't expect you to like attack him in his own home. I will give that to you. Then Niklas. I know. I'm good to go whenever. Takumi, you're ready to go whenever.
Okay. Alright, Takumi draws close to Oaklith and draws his blade. And he says right up to his face.
Sneak attack.
And he says right to his face. You would allow people who've saved a village come into your town, be attacked, and admonish them for trying to do something about it? You have the gall to claim that you have things handled when these people have tried to kill me just today. I don't feel safe here, and I don't think that you should be admonishing anyone here saying that they're wasting your time. And if you have no concerns for justice, then your inadequacy and your incompetence is nothing but evil. And then I roll to attack.
Okay. You may roll.
Okay.
Got it.
Oh, I forgot. I wanted to use my bonus action to use, what's it called? Searing Smite.
That's fine. Does Smite work against evil creatures? Like, how does Smite work again?
Smite works whatever. It's allowed to
Okay.
do everything at once.
Oh. Okay, cool.
So basically, I deal 1d6. And also, I want to use another spell slot to use Divine Smite,
Okay.
which deals another 2d8.
Okay. You roll
Um,
all that out and I can just add it all up.
okay. I want to re-roll one of my rolls, so /R. We'll do 2d6 for that, and then do 2d8. So 26 plus 7, okay, and 41 damage.
Okay. Let me just math this real quick. All right. You, after saying all the holy incantations, come down with the strike of your blade, cutting straight across his unarmored chest. It does a massive amount of damage to him as he yelps out in pain, stepping back just a moment before his hand on his hilt, looking at you, very determinedly angry. Ragnar, it's your turn.
I wonder why.
I think it's a little late to be asking that.
Yeah, I mean, is that what you say? Are
Is that what you
saying-
ask?
Okay. Remember, you get to use Jorah as well. That misses. In fact, you stab Jorah.
Got him.
Owl. Yeah, true. Okay. That hits. 23 hits. Okay. And you're going to disengage. So you stab at him with your rapier, being helped by Themis, your owl. You get a nice stab in at his left shoulder. He yelps and then, but doesn't seem to take his eyes off of Takumi. Did you want to do Jorah? Oh, Jorah hits automatically because you hit. So if you want to roll out Jorah's damage, it's on his sheet. You have access to his sheet, right? Should. I think I gave it to you. Okay. So Jorah's going to do range then, all right? Yeah, that hit. Yeah, you just rolled damage. Perfect. All right. That also hits with his crossbow. All right. Now it's Oaklif's turn. Takumi, wordlessly, Oaklif looks you in the eye, pulls out his sword from his hilt, and as he does, the blade leaving his hilt, it ignites in flame until his full sword comes out completely ignited in flame. and again wordlessly rolls to attack you. That's plus. There we go. Okay. 20 hits, right?
Yeah.
All right. Can you make a Constitution saving throw for me, please? All right. Hold on.
Oh no.
Did you make a Constitution saving throw?
Did I make what now?
Did you make a Constitution saving throw?
Yeah.
Save
failed.
DC 13.
Yeah, no, he did not pass. He rolled
Oh.
very low for that. You also rolled very low. I'm
Oh,
just making
okay.
sure
He takes another 1d6 damage.
you want to roll that 1d6 real quick
Yeah.
while I'm doing this?
While we were on the concept of rolling,
Yeah.
sorry.
That's fine. That's fine. So now I know what health he's at completely.
Okay.
He's looking very much worse for wear. Takumi, you take 14 damage. I need to roll one more. Hold on. And 2 fire damage. So 14 slashing and 2 fire.
Okay.
And he swings at you again.
Okay.
That's a 9 plus 16. That
Okay.
hits?
So 32 damage total?
No. 14 damage. This is his next attack.
16, and then 16 again for 32.
No, he rolled a 16 to attack. I'm asking you if that hits your AC.
Oh, I thought you... Alright, 9, math. Yeah, that hits. It's AC 16.
Now I'll tell you. Okay. Hold on. Oh, no more fire damage. That's how that's going to work. 18 damage for that one.
Okay.
Are you downed or no?
I have 2 HP.
Okay. You want to tell me how much, because he doesn't know.
Oh,
I
okay.
just want... He's focusing you, babe.
Yeah, I got you.
And-
So the 2 blows would probably rend the first one considerable damage into Takumi's armor. The second one leaving a deep gash in his chest. Takumi would definitely look worse for wear. And yeah, it is a big crab.
And since he is level 12, he gets a third attack. I did roll a crit. I'm sorry about that.
We're like, oh, Takumi isn't down. Quick.
So 1, 2. That wasn't that bad. That's only 8. But plus 8, 16 damage. 16 damage.
Okay. I'm down.
He then calls out, saying, "Boys, get in here!" And his 2 guards come in. One movement. 2. And they attack. One attacks you, Ragnar. 1 second. Let me roll this. That hits. Let me roll for this. Well, you got lucky. It's only 3 damage. The other one attacks you, Niklas. So 3 damage to you, Ragnar. That hits. And that's 8 damage. Oh no, sorry, 10 damage for you, Niklas. He rolled complete. They both stab at you. How much? 3, just 3 of these. And that is that. That is his turn, which would make it now Duck's.
Alright, Duck is going to walk up. He would like to
Okay.
rage.
Okay.
Angry Duck. And he would like to attempt to grab... what's his name?
Oakleaf.
Oakleaf.
Yep.
By the throat.
Okay. Please make your athletics check.
14.
Now, here's my question for you. Would you consider that, this will be a question for the table, are we considering this an attack roll? Would you consider a grapple check a melee attack roll?
It's a contested athletics check.
I would
no?
think
So
so.
it's not versus AC.
I would feel attacked if someone grappled me.
He saves. Well, if that's the case, then he also. 1 second, I gotta roll this. Superiority die is an 8. As you go to grab him, he shoves your arm off of him, swings at you with his sword. That hits, and hits you for 1 second. This other one.
Just on the grapple, grapple is a special melee attack.
Yeah, so then it would count.
And it is definitely a melee attack.
Yep. That's 11. Sorry, 8. No, sorry, not 11. Can you make a Constitution save for me, Duck?
Okay, I'm pretty sure I. Do I have advantage on those because I'm raging?
No, not
No.
saves, right? No.
No, I don't.
Okay. So please make a con save for me. DC's not that bad. You save. So while the flames don't stick to you, Duck, he does slash down at you for 14 damage.
Half to 7.
Half to 7 because you're raging. I'm just going to tell you the full damage. You're going to have it for me.
Okay.
Okay. Is that your turn?
Yeah, that's it.
All right, Takumi, you're down. Please make a death saving throw. Okay. That's 1 success. Mercalli, it's your turn.
Wait, what?
What?
Oh, okay, now I got it.
All right, so Mercalli has like really almost no idea why, but is pretty terrified. So he's going to move within range and use that orc shaman thing. So.
Oh God! Okay.
One thing you may want to be aware of, just before this whole ordeal went down, Oaklith was really pissed off and said, "I don't know who the hell let you in here." So, my plan was to intervene and say, "Hey, listen, I don't want any trouble. I was let in here by Eric, but Mercalli would be aware of that as well."
Yeah, I think the things have progressed beyond. In Mercalli's point of view, things have progressed beyond.
That's fair. I just wanted to let you know all of the background stuff that's going on, just in case that might change your Mercalli's idea. So.
Yeah, Mercalli doesn't want to do anything, but what he is he's seeing a crazed fighter who just, in one blow, took down one of our strongest guys. Okay, so how do you do a macro, or how do you do /R and then what is it like if you want to roll?
Oh, /R or no, /R and then you just type in like whatever, like 1d10 or 2d10 or whatever the dice. That's a lot of dice you're gonna be rolling. That did a lot of damage. All right, and he's got to make a con save for that. So 1 second, let me roll that.
I was here when he got this. I don't know what this is.
What's your AC? You were here for when he got this. He got this all the way back from the orcs. It was the little thing that was shaped like a hawk.
I don't remember.
What is it?
Yeah.
You drew it, or no, maybe Niklas. Somebody drew it.
Yeah, I remember
Mercalli
that.
hasn't actually been making an issue of it because he doesn't like it, but this is a circumstance where he's overcoming his dislike of it.
What's your spell AC?
My
Spell
spell
save DC.
AC or my DC is 14.
14. Okay, that's a save. So,
But I think he has to make a wisdom save, right?
it's a con save.
Or he makes a con save. Right?
Yeah, makes a Constitution saving throw. So 35.
Takes half if he makes it.
Yeah. Then now at that. All right. Mercalli, the little amulet you have when you cast the blight spell seems to draw energy from Oaklith himself, a deep dark purple energy flows out of him and into the amulet itself. It vibrates a bit, and one of the pearls fades in color on it. There's two pearls, one on the wing, one in the eye. The
Right.
one on the wing fades in color until it's a light gray instead of the dark black it was earlier.
Okay.
All right. That would make it Niklas's turn.
Okay. I had to step away for just a moment. What was the last little bit that I missed?
Mercalli used his little amulet he got from one of the orc shamans back in Brewery on Oakleth for 17 necrotic damage.
Oh, damn.
Black foam, or not foam, but like mist, energy flows out of him and into the amulet. That's Mercalli casting spell.
Okay, how
That
does
was
Oakleth
17.
look?
Not nearly as good as he did when he entered the room. He looks very bad, especially after that seeping of energy into Mercalli's amulet. He seems much worse for wear.
Okay, so first things first, Niklas is not drawing steel. He is actually using his rapier within the scabbard.
Okay.
So he's, I think, like, cinematically speaking, the guard came in and attacked him, so now he's using his sheathed rapier as kind of like a cane to just try and keep fighting it back after the initial hit and surprise if ow. And while he's doing that, he's just kind of trying to yell over the clattering of blades and the clashing of steel. And he's going to, because his first instinct is survival. And while Oakleth doesn't look too good, he doesn't want to kill anybody in here.
Okay.
So his first thing Niklas is going to do is try and shout out over the commotion. Dreadfully sorry it's come to this. Truth be told, we were led in here by your lord. We have other pressing matters to attend to than the ego of the misguided ego of a paladin. And your injured pride. Niklas trying to diffuse the situation of like, hey, listen, we have every reason to be here. We're not trying to cause anything. One of us has fucked up.
Okay. Oakleth, seeing that Takumi, the man who began aggressions, is down, looks over towards you, Niklas. His blade drawn and pointed at Duck. Duck, you feel the bit of heat as the flames barely miss your chest as he keeps
Duck
the
doesn't
blade
feel a
pointed.
damn thing right now. He is angry.
He's angry, that's right. You don't feel the flames licking your chest. But Oakleth looks at you, Niklas, and says, "This has nothing to do with injured pride. One of you attacked me in my own home."
And I said he was a misguided fool. And if we continue down this path, we'll be as foolish as he was, all of us. We have more pressing matters than a simple squabble.
This is very true. However, this is more than a simple squabble. You attacked a man in his own home.
I've attacked
As far as I'm
nobody. I
aware-
was fighting a hag. I woke up, came here, and the first thing I see is you yelling at my friend. Then my friend deciding you are somehow an unjust criminal warlord and thinking he could take you on. I'm trying to defuse the situation. There's been a hag in the main. And a powerful one at that. I fought her firsthand, single-handedly. I know what she's capable of. Do you want to continue down this road? Because she's had access to all of the potions and ingredients that the court mage has had. She played us all like a damn fiddle.
Oakliff is gonna look around the room. And the rest of you, are you ready to put your weapons down as well?
Whose turn is it?
I never
It's
pulled mine
Niklas's
out.
turn. Jack, your weapon's not out. Irisvale, I assume you don't have a weapon out.
I'm just
So I'm
sipping
just
my
very confused.
on a big sip.
Did you not stand up? You're just sipping your drink. You just sat there and was like, oh, this is happening.
I rolled last initiative.
Mikali will just sort of hide the hawk symbol behind his back.
Duck is in the process of trying to grab one of the guards to hit Oakliff.
Tell your boy to stand down, and I shall as well. He says, motioning towards Duck.
Get over here!
Oakliff slowly lowering the sword as he waits for you to tell Duck to stop.
Duck is gonna keep going. Duck's going. He's rolling. He's spending the stamina point. To,
Duck, the sun's getting very low in the sky, big guy.
Oh my god.
Yeah, his name's
he's,
Duck. Yeah, I like the bird.
gonna do this.
That's the reason he gave.
It's also not your turn.
We asked
I mean,
why Duck, and he said, you know,
with
I
that
like the
6
bird.
seconds.
Oh, okay, alright, you're right. It is Irisvale's turn. Irisvale, you've heard Oakliff. What are you gonna do?
I'm just gonna sit down and put my hands in my lap and just like wait.
Okay, Jack, you've also heard Oakliff. What are you gonna do?
What the fuck?
I'm going to tell Duck to stop being a fool and stop swinging people.
It is not Duck's turn to stop. Ragnar, what are you gonna do? Hideous laughter? On Duck? Okay.
Alright.
Wisdom save.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh no. Or probably good thing.
Okay. With Duck falling down and the guard getting released, the guards still have their weapons drawn, pointing them at the rest of you. But Oakliff will sheath his blade, the flame disappearing as he does, and he turns to the rest of you and says, "See to your friend," and steps back to the back of the room here so that you can heal Takumi.
I'm gonna
But I
cast
swear.
Spare the Dying on Takumi.
Okay. I swear, if any one of you draws another blade, you will all die. Consider this a warning. I only spare you now because of what Jalicus wrote in that letter.
Yes, you do everything flippantly. No sense of justice.
Now, do you have any more business for me? Because I need to get back to the main.
Go peddle your wares elsewhere.
You got spared the dying. I don't know if you're awake yet.
Technically, even if you're in a death saving throw state, it doesn't explicitly say that you're
Oh, that's a good point.
unable to speak. I don't think it says when you're down, you're unconscious.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Ragnar's trying to say something.
So, with all of this having been done, Oakleth is leaving to the main, yes?
Yes, that is what he has said.
Okay, I just want to make sure I heard correctly. Niklas is going to take a look around at everyone and turn to Oakleth as he's trying to reattach his scabbard back to his belt. And he's just going to speak up. It might be best to share some information with you. If only because you are more likely to see the court mage before either of us, and I am in no condition to be moving.
Stayed unconscious. Never mind.
You didn't stick up for me when a fucking aloe.
Before you speak, Niklas, Oakleth is going to say,
Bullshit.
Actually, you had to have been let in by somebody. Who was it? And where?
Don't lie to me. I was there.
And how did they officiate you in?
Shut the fuck up.
Do you mean your manor, or do you mean the main?
I mean the main. My manor, the guards let you in. I've already learned about that. I'm talking about the main.
I haven't even, like...
How did we get in? I can't remember.
Oh yeah, you were fresh one, aren't you?
So Niklas is going to just kind of look down, very sullenly. It was the hag.
She let you in. How did a hag let you in? Were you in
I
working with
escorted
her?
her.
Should I arrest you now?
I escorted her in.
As prisoner? Or what? You don't have the credentials to handle
She was
prisoners in the city.
disguised as Mariana.
The daughter of the court wizard.
Yeah.
I thought her thighs were too powerful. I knew it.
Well, in that case, you will not be allowed back in once you leave the main. So finish all your business here. I will be talking to the guards, and I will be talking to Fireheart myself. Is there any other business you had with me?
Well, you are worthy of leading. I will say that.
I only
Well,
hope
I
that
am
you...
the flame of the South, the lone torch in the dark. I didn't earn these titles by not being worthy of leading.
Oh, is that why your fire is all flame wood? Your sword?
That's
Sword is
where the
all like
names
flaming?
come from.
Right, yeah, I see it now. Cool.
See to your friend. I'm leaving. I almost said I'm out. I'm out!
What a trap.
Blackwell, out!
Just poof of smoke and you see him running away. No. But you're not allowed to stay in here for much longer. Understood?
I only hope that you break it to the mage with a bit more candor.
Seamus is a good friend. We'll
Spencer?
speak.
If I may ask one favor.
Universe?
Yes.
Niklas is like visibly choking up a little bit. Could you apologize to him for me?
That I can.
Wait, he left our group or their group?
And no one else says anything to Oakwell. He will be. He turns around and walks away. The guards still have their weapons drawn. They are not exiting with him. They're standing in the room with their with the weapons drawn, seemingly waiting for everyone. Yeah.
Niklas is gonna go up to the one that attacked him and actually put a hand on his shoulder and just, a good strike, lad. A good strike.
Thank you, sir.
Duck is gonna go up to the other one.
Very scared.
Duck is gonna go up to the other one. He says, "You're a lucky lad. You know, I almost hit your head with the other guy."
I almost hit your head with the other one.
Yeah.
He trembles in fear. These guards don't seem too happy to fight. They seem
That would not have felt good for you, I promise.
Yeah,
I get angry pretty easily.
The one on the left speaks up. Well, I'm glad you didn't throw my friend, but you heard the master. Finish your drinks and leave.
Someone say drinks.
There's tea.
Oh. Drinks.
It is just tea. It's nothing alcoholic. A maid brought you tea.
I'm gonna finish my big long sip and then get up and leave.
So Jack heads out the door. Is anyone gonna wake up Takumi or carry him or something?
I'll go.
I can go and like shake him.
No. I'll go.
Niklas is busy in his
let's
bag.
get out of here. Let's leave. We should leave first, and then we can.
Okay. No one's sticking around. We're all leaving.
Yeah, it's probably for the better.
Niklas is digging through his satchel.
Okay.
And every time someone mentions that we have to leave, he just holds up one finger, and he's just rummaging through things before he pulls out a cape that looks nearly identical to the last one he was wearing.
The one that got burned.
Yeah,
Where does he get
Niklas
these?
pulled a sweet move and used the cape to defend himself while running through a fire. It didn't defend him well enough, but it was pretty ingenious for the time. All right, Niklas, you find your identical cape.
That reminds Ragnar, who turns to Jorah. What was the status of the cape?
They're not.
They're almost done. He said check back tomorrow.
No, don't listen to the big one. They said, and I quote, "We told you a week," and it hasn't been a week. But he said it in a weird accent.
Yeah, no, they're just playing hard to get. It's obvious.
He said something about not giving us any capes if we show back up.
Oh, this is bullshit.
But
Okay.
you're welcome to go look yourself.
No. Here's what I think we should do. We need a rest, as Takumi over there is nearing death, and Niklas over here does not look healthy. We should take a rest, regain our strength, and do what these people refuse to, and attack the spider's web at, I believe it was the bug hall?
The bug hall, yes. You had made plans to attack it with, do you have his name written? With one of the 12 claws of the dragon, whose name is Dekon. In a day, basically like tomorrow night. What?
What does everyone else think? We ride at dawn?
What the fuck?
And that's good for me.
What
The
the
sooner I
Why
can
are we
kill
attacking
something,
them
the
just
better.
on principle that they're like why are we doing that?
They have Jorah's
No, I wouldn't
family
wanna
hostage,
respond to that either.
His
Okay.
daughter.
his daughter. And
Yeah.
they're basically the bad guys in this town running everything. And all
They
the
seem
black
to be
market.
running everything in this country.
No, actually, they're just a bunch of simple pickpockets. Clearly, they have nothing to do with anything.
Right now it's getting a bit flabby, so I need some exercise.
They're
No.
clearly just beggars on the street at worst.
Yeah, They are nothing. Not anything to be concerned about. They didn't send anyone to assassinate us.
Like, okay, for me, it'd be
The question is, where would we sleep?
a deal. But
The
We
keep
may
at
find in-
the Cracked Cauldron told us to return in a few hours.
and I feel like that gets on the creepy.
Oh, I'll look at that guy.
No offense to him.
You talking about cavernous crack?
Yes.
He probably felt the same way we did.
Elise Inchfield? Yeah.
Yes, the gnomish lady.
Small gnomish. You can do.
The spider's web knows we're there, though, is the problem.
So what? If they come there, then means they save us the trouble, right? We just kill them.
Although, we are all still disguised, actually, I think.
I'm not. I took that off.
Duck is everyone else.
That's right. There was some kind of disguise.
I dressed everyone up 2 sessions ago. What about Jorah? Does Jorah have any more safe houses that we could sleep at?
You're asking him?
Yeah.
That was one of my last ones. The only other one I have. No, I have to fix that one. Oh, the one in Eston does. Found and one in up. Nothing easy to get to like I did with the spell earlier. Got nothing like that. I do have one in the craftsman's hold. Won't comfortably fit all of you. It's really for one person. It's really only a couple feet by a couple feet in the bed. That's a last resort safe house. We could try there. There's not going to be enough sleeping room.
What about, are there any inns that the spider's web tend not to frequent, maybe in uptown or wherever the higher end districts? Maybe there's hotels where the spider's web don't.
Well, quite typically, the cavernous crack is the only one they're not allowed in. That was very strange. They, out of character, that came in and attacked you there. Most of the inns are not safe. Most of the other innkeepers don't have dealings with them, or at least agreements with them that no business is conducted.
Well, not that it mattered with the cavernous crack. I mean, no matter where we go. Alright. If they break their dealing, then it doesn't really matter.
No, I would imagine Elise has set up extra guards at this point and extra precautions to keep any spider's web infiltrators out. But the other inns that are at least available could work, besides the Cavernous Crack, are the Blue Tankard and the Grey Cat. I'm not sure how safe they would be, and we'd have to travel either to Uptown or Eston or even Lille.
All right, well, let's just stay at the one here. It's close to their base as well.
That is true.
But we must disguise ourselves yet again.
Why? It's so itchy.
You have the bracelet still.
Right, but they're only good once, and we still have to go from the inn in the morning to their base.
Yeah.
So either we use the bracelets now or we use them in the morning. It's up to you guys.
It would be best to use them on approach.
Yeah, we should probably hold off on.
So Ragnar will crack all his knuckles. He's gonna get to work on everything.
Are we gonna go to the inn first?
No, we have to get disguised so that we don't get found on the way to the end.
Alright, let's wake Takumi up then. Oi. Wake up,
Oh,
you lot.
that's not a good disguise.
Wake up. Takumi.
Yeah.
Slap.
Takumi surveys the scene and asks the first question on his mind. Where is he?
Oh, he's dead. You killed.
I did not want to kill him, nor is he dead. What happened?
Alright, he
I
might be a little
negotiated
bit
you
far.
to survive.
It was clear that he would fall in just a few minutes more had we kept on with the fight. Why would you allow such a purveyor of injustice and half-truths to live?
Because, as of now, we have more dire things to attend to.
As such, what?
The hag.
A hag that we can't find. I have no idea what you're talking about.
A hag that used us, slew an innocent, and used us to gain access to ingredients and magics beyond my wildest imaginations, and I know how to imagine quite a bit!
When did you give the hag all these magics? What are you talking about?
When she disguised herself as Mariana.
Oh, that woman. You're telling me that she was that hag?
The whole time.
We were played for fools.
Go fiddle.
Like a fiddle.
Why didn't you tell me?
Well, you were not really conscious.
Because
So
by the time I
technically,
arrived, you decided to kill the Lord of the Manor!
Actually, just for point of reference, you got there before the conversation started. But if it were that important, I wouldn't mind you interrupting.
Ragnar is gonna slap a Raggedy Andy red wig on Takumi.
Mhm.
There you go. Disguise done.
And what is all this?
We're going back to the inn to rest up so we can attack the spider's web home base in the.
Yeah.
Have your wits been cursed by that hag? Why would we step foot out there?
Kill some real bad guys?
We've kind of been kicked out.
What?
You didn't think they'd let us stay here after you attacked him, did you?
You didn't think that it would be fair? That man has done nothing to protect us. It's the least he could do as thanks for us saving a town and coming here to be charged at by a number of assassins.
I don't know. You did kind of stab him twice.
He did indicate that he had no hopes of ending their reign of terror or whatever you'd call it.
Right, yeah, I hate injustice as much as the next guy, but I wouldn't, kill a man over that. He was pretty worthy, too, right? He was, a strong, and his sword, do you see it? It was, on fire. It's pretty... Right, yeah, I have no problem with how things turned out.
Ragnar is gonna take Takumi's shoulder and start pushing him out the door. Time to go. Don't stab anyone else.
And how, pray tell, are we to contact our dear friend Dekon if we're not allowed within the main?
I can message anyone I want.
Mm-hmm. And have you met Dekon?
That's a good question. I genuinely don't remember.
Yes,
walk with
everyone
Dekon,
met
so-
Dekon, but you didn't talk to him like Takumi did. But you have met him. So you know
I think
him
I just need to know. Here, I brought up the text. Let me see here.
120 feet.
you would not be within 120 feet, even if... I mean, unless he was, like, walking around the gates when you went to the gates to message him. If you were messaging him outside from the walls, you would not be able to.
Okay, but like, what if I stood at the gates with a boombox above my head?
At that rate, you might just be like, "Hey! Jack on!"
Sounds like we have our solution, boys.
I love you.
Do
Don't
boomboxes
leave
even
me.
exist in this universe?
What was the question?
Would a boombox exist in the universe?
It's canon.
A lot of crazy magical items. You might find a boombox styled. I mean, dude, there's moving paintings, so I mean, there's crazy stuff in this universe. Moving paintings are things that Mercalli would be semi-familiar with as an elf from Lumos. Things that you would have there. Now you wouldn't have it here, so you probably wouldn't have a boombox here, but maybe something.
I think you could do it with major illusion. I think.
Yeah, you could. There's literally, isn't there like an item or a spell that lets you amplify your voice to 300 plus feet or something like that?
Thaumaturgy, but you can only amplify your voice. You can't make it sound like music is coming from an object. You can just amplify your own. Well, we also have a cleric who I hope has thaumaturgy.
I do.
Boom! When we need him, we just yell real loud.
It sounds like the kind of plan Duck would come up with.
It's foolproof.
Hey,
What are
first
we even
off,
trying to do?
once we take down the spider's web in this city, they'll be begging us to come back into the main.
Yeah, why don't we just go now?
Well, so some of us need spells, and 2 of us are almost.
Alright, so we're going to the inn, right?
Yeah.
How many more disguises do we need?
You're all poorly disguised.
You are all very...
Just one roll for everyone?
Yeah, that's how we did it last time.
Yeah, Takumi's just gonna find a spot within the grounds until he gets kicked out.
He's not gonna follow them. He's just gonna walk around the grounds.
Well, you know, find if there's any secluded copse where he could, you know, stretch out his blanket and see if he can pass at night.
I mean, there's a few forested areas that aren't really well traveled. You can definitely go find a few places that aren't like walking around with guards. Guards don't seem to react to you right now. Most seem to have gone back to their normal patrol routine, but no one seems to be telling you to leave as you pass by. It's as if Blackwell has to talk to people first and can't just message everyone and say, "Hey, fuck these kids." So you guys
Oh man, I wish it was so powerful.
So right now, no one seems to be ushering you away. They seem to just assume that you're fine being here. I mean, you're in the main to begin with. They're not gonna kick you out.
I'm surprised security isn't hiding after the hag attack.
It seems like there's less people patrolling, considering a number of them died. But right now, at least not around the grounds. If you walk to the main, you might find more people there. What? Assuming you're not running to.
No.
But yeah, you can find a nice secluded spot underneath like trees or anything like that. To camp out if you want to do that.
Okay.
So Takumi's chilling here, and the rest of us are going back to the.
I don't know. What are you guys gonna do?
Well, Mercalli can stay with Takumi, and Mercalli doesn't need to really rest, actually. So he can just sort of hang out. And,
I think
Nice.
8 of us camping out here would too much attention.
yeah, but just feel bad about Takumi just being by himself in his injured state.
Okay.
Okay.
And actually, while we're doing that, I'll actually finally cast Find Familiar as a ritual.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. So you guys find a little camping spot to hide out. Did you want to have it like deep into the wooded areas within the castle, or did you want to have it more towards the edge?
Well, if we're not meant to be there, I presume the less traveled area, just somewhere so that we don't have to come back in, so we can talk to Dekon in the morning.
Sure. All right. As for the rest of you, you're gonna make your way down to where the cavern is cracked.
Yep.
Okay. Disguised as well, right? It's
Poorly. Well,
poorly disguised.
like Ragnar never took his original disguise off, so.
But it's also only like a 15-minute walk. You're not really walking that far, maybe 20 minutes. If you're walking, if you're strolling, it'll be longer. But you seem to get there uneventfully. The bodies outside the inn, as Duck Jack before, are all cleaned up. The indoors are open. However, this time you see a few half orcs standing outside, about 4, standing straight outside the inn. And as you step up towards the door, one speaks up. Halt! You need
Yes.
to commit yourselves to a search. You're allowed in.
We have rooms here already.
Have rooms here. He nods at one of the other orcs, and the other orc steps in. So now there's only 3 outside. A minute or 2 passes before the orc steps back. I could get rid of both. Before the orc steps out and says, "Oh no, he's right. They already have a room. You're okay to go." Step aside.
Duck.
What?
You should stock up on some Johnny John.
What was that again?
Was that beer that did it give him haste? I think.
Gave him +2 to strength.
Yeah.
I mean, if I have any to spare, I'll take it. I'm not rich, you know.
What else are you gonna spend your money on? We already bought capes.
Do we buy them already?
Yeah, we paid him.
For him? But what if I want like another cape?
You guys can do whatever you want. Your rooms are already paid for.
I was also looking for
I
some.
used my free drink yet.
You did not have your free drink either.
I was also gonna look for some like a nice like place to get some hand wraps, make it easier to grab things, squeeze them. Anybody see a place like that?
Like in the inn.
No, like around.
We probably shouldn't be doing shopping, seeing as assassins have been trying to kill us.
Oh, all right, yeah, I hear you, but like for in the future, that's what I'm gonna spend my money on, you know.
Is anyone approaching the bar?
Yeah,
Yep.
Tickle approach.
Yeah, I'll go free drink.
I want my free drink.
So the bartender, the man from earlier, looks at all of you, looks down, assumedly at Elise, who you can't see because she's not above the counter yet. And a few seconds later, you see a little head bop up as she steps up to the steps of the engine counter. She says, "It's you folk. Now, I'm sorry about the happenings earlier. It's been a long time since we've had an incident. But let's just say those 2 friends of yours are being told off by the local organization." He
gives you all a smile. What can I do for you today?
Man, these disguises must suck because everybody knows who we are.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, you put a hat on or draw a mustache on him? She says, pointing over to Duck. You need to disguise yourselves a little bit better if you want to get around being unknown. It's not
I didn't
that
even
hard.
recognize myself.
Ragnar's totally doing the Thor from Thor Ragnarok, where he's like, "But you can't see my face if I do this," and I just hold a cloth up over.
She gives you a bit of a baffled look and says, in any case, there's not a large group of adventuring-looking types roaming around with a room purchased for the inn. It's not very hard to guess who you are.
Do you have any of that Johnny Jump Up?
Of course, that's my specialty.
How expensive is it?
5 gold for 1 cup.
Jesus. I mean,
I'll take 4 cups.
Hello.
Who asked for 4?
Niklas will raise his hand at the end of the bar.
Niklas, were you not?
Yep.
Did tell her your real name. I have to every time you tell someone your name, I have to write down. I know if it's actually you or not. So I wrote Elise, Arrow, Niklas. So I was like, all right, you told him your real name.
Yep.
So Elise goes 4. Oh, well, for right now, or did you want me to mug those up and pop them off?
Right now.
What?
I would be very careful if I were you. Most can't handle that much.
No.
But just 1 second. She steps down. You hear a bunch of shuffling behind the counter, and she comes up with 4 mugs, puts them on the counter, calls the bartender over. Bartender pours out this nice liquid in there, and she hands down the 4 over to you. There you go. Now it's going to be 20 gold, and please take it slow.
Niklas will hand over the 20 gold, and he'll just kind of like swirl the cup in his hand and just kind of look at it. If I drink all 4 of these, will it kill me?
It won't kill you, but if you don't have the constitution for it, you may be asleep for a little while.
Damn.
What about me?
You probably have the constitution for it, but you need to be careful. This is strong alcohol, despite its sweet taste. Drink too much, and well, no telling what'll happen.
So Ragnar will pass over 20 gold, and we'll take 4.
Contest.
Is anyone else going to be drinking any Johnny Jump Up?
So,
I'll take 4 more.
wait. Just as like Ragnar takes them and looks like he's about to start drinking them, he just gives them all to Duck and be like, "Here, take these."
Well, that is very kind of you. Very kind.
Okay, and you
I'll
want
have 4 more.
Okay. Now,
So that's 8 for Duck.
I'll just
Yeah.
I don't like to cut people off, but I may have to cut you off at 4. Why don't you start with 4?
Some of these are for later, right, Duck?
Right. Yeah, 4 for
So-
now, 4 for later.
All right, I'll top off a few for you for 4 for later. You needed 1, but you also get 1 free, so it'll only be 15 gold from you. She says, pointing out at you, Jack.
Oh no, I just want 1.
Oh, you just want 1.
Wait, how long are
thank
these
you,
good
God.
for?
It's alcohol. They're good for a very long time.
Yeah, alright, tell you what, cancel my 4, and could you top off 2 of these?
2 of those?
Actually, 3. Top off
So
3.
you want 1 right now, 3 topped off.
Yeah, right, yeah.
And she hasn't poured any of those yet. She turns to Iris Vale. And you, miss, what would you like?
I have 2.
You'll have okay. All right, just everyone, please be careful.
Oh yeah.
She pours 2 for Iris Veil. She pours. Oh, did you want those right now, or did you want those for later? Those 2.
Right now is fine.
Okay. She pours 2 for Iris Veil. She pours 4 for Duck, only 1 for now, 3 for later, and she pours 1 for Jack. And 4, Niklas has his 4. That's everything, right?
And Ragnar would like a milk.
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 Okay. And she sends the bartender off to get some milk. You have all your drinks. You can put them in your
Arsville, are you gonna drink those both at once?
One after the other, I intend to.
Well, that is impressive. You are inspired. Doug is gonna untap his second Johnny Jump Up, and he's gonna double fist. He's gonna pound them both back at the same time. Right now.
Please roll 2 constitutions.
Okay. He's not gonna.
Not raging.
Well, raging doesn't matter anyway.
Oh, that's right. Okay. So after your first one, you feel pretty good, Duck. Oh, good lord. Both of you feel fantastic. In fact, Duck, you feel so strong. Why don't you give yourself +1 to strength?
+1 total?
Plus, like as an add-on, as like instead of being +4 as your modifier is now +5.
Permanently?
No, for 10 minutes, the same way it was last time.
I thought each one of these gave you a +2 to strength.
No, it's because you had more than 1 and you rolled a certain amount. I have it written down. You have to have more than 1 for it to even happen. And if you roll higher than what Zadie rolled, and she got a crit, so Zadie, Iris Veil, you get +2 modifier to your strength for 10 minutes because you rolled a crit.
Alright, arm wrestle me right now. I'm feeling good.
At least about the water fruit. Oh, yes, the water fruit. Well, I'm working on it, but it's not really done yet. These sorts of things take a very long time.
You mean
Where's your
that
wizard friend?
You are all extremely impatient.
Right, no. Aureus Veil, arm wrestle me. Is what,
You guys can make an athletics check for the arm wrestle.
Yeah.
No thank you.
Right,
No,
well,
thank you.
Well, please.
Ragnar will arm wrestle you.
Oh, Ragnar, let's go. Alright.
You get +6 for your athletic.
I have a -1.
Actually, I have
You get
for
some more,
athletics. I have
+8, right?
+8. I have +9 total.
Yeah.
Because it'd be +8 plus. Alright.
Okay.
Ready?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
You only drank 1 though, right?
Yeah. So, I drank 2 actually.
Oh,
No, I drank 2.
yeah.
No, I'm talking about Jack. Jack is drinking his. Jack, just roll 1 if you only drink 1.
That's a 23,
Jack,
by the way.
You feel it's such a sweet taste. It's a cider. It tastes really, really good, but seconds after you drink it, your head starts spinning a bit, and you start waving a bit in your seat. It really hits you hard.
I'm just gonna mark down 10 damage for how badly Ragnar lost that arm wrestle.
Okay.
How did you put a 0?
Table
So,
cracks.
if you've ever watched fucking regular show where Skips picks up Rigby and throws him through the table, that's basically what just happened with Doug. He just picks you up by your arm.
Alright, right.
tosses you through
Yeah!
the table.
Oh, yeah!
Jack's extremely drunk ass is going to arm wrestle Duck.
Oh, you next door. All
Nicholas
right.
is just sipping on
I'm
his first one.
Bring it on, dragon. Bring it on. No! Wait, that's a 15. That's a 15 because the +1. It's a 15.
Plus the +1. So the two of you lock in the middle of your arm wrestle. Both of you, please roll
Sorry.
one more athletics.
Duck
for
would
me.
like to rage.
Okay. Getting angry that he's not winning right away against this Dragonborn rages. Please roll again.
Oh.
Ah, I see. Duck, you're
29.
breaking another table.
Oops.
You pick up Jack, who I think is taller than you, tossing him into the table. You have won both arm wrestles.
I'm the champion.
Jack is just gonna mumble nice and then pass out.
Okay.
Nice.
Alright, Ragnar's heading off to bed.
It's not even that late in the day, just so everyone knows. It's like 4 or 5, I'm pretty sure, p.m.
Yeah, but half of us are dead, and I'm not a slot.
So, Niklas, are you gonna sip your drinks for the whole night?
I'm gonna sip on the first one, and see how drunk that gets me.
Take it.
And
Well,
then
if you roll me a Constitution save. Not that drunk. You feel good. You can tell you're a bit tipsy, but you feel very, very good about that.
good enough. I will ask for to top off the other 3 for later.
Does that just for you?
And then I will ask if there are any nearby chapels or churches.
Well, there's, of course, the Bug Hall, which is an abandoned church, but you can also go down to St. Farah's. It's by the southern gate. It's right across the Bug Hall.
Isn't Nicholas? Aren't you at like 1 health?
I'm at 3.
You should be the first one to want to crawl up into a bed.
He's feeling played like a damn fiddle.
And a cheap one at that. I feel like I need to go yell at a god.
Well, you can always head down there. There's a pile of broken glass and splinters.
Don't forget the dreams. You can't forget the broken dreams.
And everyone else? Is anyone else doing something?
Doc is just flexing on the bar stool.
I have gotten the book out and I'm trying to press the Underdark flower.
What are you trying to do with the Underdark flower?
Just make it pressed flower.
Oh, okay, sure.
Doc is just gonna try and convince Iris to arm wrestle the whole night.
No.
No. As you're doing this, Iris, you are very familiar with this flower. You know you need to be extremely careful with it, pressing it, because it's a very potent poison. So, but you're aware of this fact as you, I guess, are familiar with it. So you're not having too tough of a time doing that. Duck, you're having an impossible time trying to convince Iris Vale.
No, I'm wearing her down. Just look at her.
Okay.
What was the chapel to the south?
It's St. Farah's. Oh, you guys aren't on the map. I'm like, but you're on the map. You can see it. Let me just put you on the map so you can see it better. There you go. If I draw on here, this is right about where you are right now. That is where the Cavernous Crack is. St. Farah's is that church right down there across from the book. And if you are familiar with human gods, you don't know who Feyre is. Obviously, she's a saint. You're not familiar with her as a god or anything like that. But you can roll a religion check if you want to try to. But it's that church right down. You can see the map, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you do not know.
I will
You know
inquire
these
about
humans
St.
have too
Pharaoh's
many
then.
gods. What was your question? What were you saying?
Just inquire as to the nature of St. Pharaoh's church.
With Elise?
Yes.
Sure. So Elise is going to tell you that, well, Farah is a saint. She was actually a cleric who hailed from here. But it's to the human goddess Tamora.
It's a
Are
fucking
you
pillow.
familiar with her? She's the goddess of luck, human goddess of luck. I guess some halflings worship her too.
Where's the
But
carcass at?
it's named. Yes, you're aware of her.
Okay, cool.
It's named after Farah, since she's a very famous cleric, at least in these parts, Tamora. And beyond that, she actually founded the church. The church itself is the smallest church within the city. It's even smaller than the Bug Hall. But it is quite a nice church. And if you're lucky, maybe tomorrow will bless you with luck.
Goddess of luck, huh?
Human goddess of luck. Well, you could also call her the lady who smiles, our smiling lady. There's a lot of names for her.
You started it, bitch.
Lady Luck is the most common.
Seriously.
I believe I'll go have a visit.
All right. Well,
You're not fucking innocent if you're gonna.
your room is ready whenever you return. The orcs outside know your name now, and they know your face as well. So you should be okay.
Just be careful, Nicholas. It's across the street from the boat.
If they attack me, then at least I get to kill something.
Yeah. I
All right.
died.
You're gonna head down there.
Yep.
So, you take a little stroll towards St. Pharaoh's Church. You don't have to walk that far, but as you're coming upon, which crossroads do you want to take? Do you want to take the one down by the lake? Or do you want to take the one right in front of the mountain?
I'll take the one by the lake.
Okay. So you go down through the alleyways behind the homes here, and you come upon a large, kind of small, lake here within the city walls, surrounded by well taken care of forest trees, and you see a small path that heads on out towards the church. You assume these are all church grounds. You see a few people standing around the lake and a few kids kicking in the shallows of the lake water at each other, playing around. It's a calming scene. It's not very... nothing seems suspicious or out of the ordinary. It just seems like a few people enjoying the nice area. Would you like to follow the path towards the church?
Yeah.
As you come around the church, or the path down towards the church, you come around a bend and you see a few of the spires begin to poke out of the trees themselves. After only a couple minutes of walking, you see the church proper. There's a small graveyard out behind the church. Nothing compared to the large graveyard near the Newtown Market by the Ilmater Church. But graveyard nonetheless. I didn't... Oh, sorry. Okay. And again, you see a few people walking through the graveyard. But you seem to come on the back of the church. There is a small entrance you can spy, but you can always go around to the front of the church.
All right. I'll enter the church, I suppose.
Would you like to go through the front or the back?
I'll go through the front.
So you take the bend around the church itself. There's a few people across the street standing outside what you assume is the Bug Hall. It's a much, much larger church building, made of a darker stone, not as light brown as it is. They, despite seemingly standing outside the Bug Hall as sentries, their eyes seem to quickly lock onto you. However, they don't move past their post. No one else seems to notice you as you're walking towards the front of the church. You step in and you see a large, where the pews are. Is it gallery? I don't know. You see a large area with all the pews and the typical church look with a large stained glass window with who you assume is Lady Luck. On the walls are a lot of engravings of coins with the face side up. There seem to be a few people sitting in the pews. A few other people are walking around the edges of the church where you can see what are seemingly artifacts or other tokens to Mora in the church itself. What would you like to do?
Is there a priest nearby?
There's no one seemingly dressed as a priest in a typical sense with religious garb, but there is a halfling at the altar. He seems to be walking around the altar, and he's dressed a little bit differently than everyone else. He doesn't seem like a typical priest. Talk to him. He's the only one up there.
I would definitely like to go talk to him.
All right. As you approach the altar, you see
I know we should set up speed for fun.
the altar is carved and painted onto it is a scene depicting who you assume is Feyre fighting off some sort of mythical beast with a mace and a shield in heavy armor. We are not put in heavy armor. The halfling sees you approaching the altar, and he turns to you and says, "Hello, how can I help you?"
Hey,
How does someone pray to your god?
There are different ways to pray to Tamora. Most common is we toss coins into the lake on church grounds. Toss a coin in there, and you make say your prayer, make a wish. That's how people typically do it. Can confess your prayer with me. You can confess your prayer with the altar. You can pray to the image of Tamora here. If you feel unworthy of Tamora herself, you can pray to Feyre. Not too different from any of the other gods. As long as you are daring and show an aptitude of courage, Tamora is bound to at least hear you.
Thank you.
Of course.
And Niklas will approach the altar, or rather the visage of Tamora, and
okay.
Pray to that.
Is there do you have a prayer you want to say? Do you want to send it to me in a message? Do you want to do that?
Nicholas essentially is going to, from where he's at, try and look this visage in the eye.
Oh, that's clever.
Okay. So you're looking up at the stained glass area where Tamora is standing in the where Tamora's is. That's fine. Yeah.
Exactly. And he's going to stare it in the eye and say, as far as I am concerned, your ilk don't care about us. Tonight only proved that. Where was your luck when the innocents needed you? Where was your luck when we were tricked into giving evil what it wanted? Where are you with all the beggars and those who are hurt, sitting in the streets?
Niklas, can you roll? Are you done with your prayer?
Yep.
Sorry, I stepped away for a second.
That's fine. Yeah.
He was just about done. He's essentially done with by saying, if you truly gave a damn about any of us on this plane, prove it. Because until I get knowledge that one of you cares an iota about any of us, I'll make it my mission to kill all of you.
There's another one.
Until there is good left in this world.
There's another one. Oh, wait, yeah, you're right.
Niklas, you're half human, right?
Yes.
Can you please roll
Wait, I'm thinking the other one.
a d20?
Just a d20?
Yeah, just a d20.
So we're gonna have to go back anyway. Did you add more people?
You make your prayer. Is there anything else you wanted to do here?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. You just head back to the inn.
Yep.
Sure. And as for Takumi and Marikali, did you want to do your find familiar?
I did. Yep.
Okay. Let's do it.
So I'm actually just gonna get a spider for now.
Fitting. All right. Sounds good.
Very possibly not very useful, but just haven't had a familiar all this time. See what happens.
Do you want me to give you a token for that?
Yeah, why not? I don't think a spider can move very far. So it'd be more like, I don't know actually.
Did you? If you want, you can send me a picture, like whatever you'd like, and then I'll put it in as a token. And as
Oh, he can actually move 20 feet. Wow.
yeah,
Okay, I'll find a
yeah,
spider token.
sure. All right. Takumi, you didn't want to do anything. You're just gonna rest, as well as Marikali. After you're fine familiar, both of you are gonna rest.
I was gonna ask Mercalli a couple of questions, but that can wait until the morning. So
Okay.
whichever he prefers. He's busy with the ritual, I presume. So, but he'll be up before me. So, whatever you think is appropriate, Paul.
Yeah, you get whatever. Either way is good. The ritual only takes. I'd like to move. I'm looking forward to getting into. We should. Yeah, let's talk now. Yeah, because it's only 10 minutes.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
either way, you can talk morning or right now, because if you want to do morning, we'll just skip to morning, and we're starting with you for. So.
You want to do that?
Yeah, that's good.
Takumi will toss and turn a little bit in his sleep. By the time that I've woken up again, presumably you did something, I don't know, whatever you want to do. Takumi will get up, wash his face with a little bit of water from his water skin, offer some to Mercalli. Then get on his knees, say a few silent prayers, to sort of get dressed and get ready for the day before turning to his companion. And he asks Miracoli, I feel that what I did was not a mistake, but I must ask you, is this the way things are done in this land? To be cold-hearted to the people and not look at problems in the face?
That seems to be a pattern. I agree. I think that it's given that it's a thing to be expected, and we cannot. I think that the best that we can hope to do is to change those attitudes by trying to set a good, because the alternative is to become a kind of ruthless version of them.
I think your sense of justice is a light in the darkness. I do not know how you acquired it. Do you think that it is right that we are to attack that den of thieves?
I don't know anything about the den of, but I do believe that if they've kidnapped a family and are trying to use a family as leverage over someone else, that's just cause or sufficient cause for me to act. I don't want to necessarily cause wholesale slaughter in pursuit of that. No family should be held against its will and used as leverage over someone else.
I
At least
agree.
not at a small scale. I think that there's some value potentially nations withholding hostages in a voluntary political organization and structure, but this is not what we're talking about here with this spider people.
I must say I understand what you describe. I wish that we could negotiate with them, but they seem as if they are fanatic in their desire to keep all others out. I hope things go well.
Yep, me too.
Although, with no aid, things may turn into a grim situation. If I could make a request of you.
Yeah, please.
If you survive and I don't, I've a letter that I'd like you to send. Would you mind carrying it for me during this day?
I don't mind at
all. So Takumi takes a small piece of parchment which has been wrapped with another piece of parchment and then sealed with a semi-elaborate looking seal in wax, and hands it to Miracoli. Please send this to Sumo. The instructions are on the front. As long as someone who can read Sumanese sees it, they'll know.
Well, I'm pleased that you feel you can trust me with.
I hope that if there were anything you needed, you could do the same.
Yep, I may take you up on that day.
Okay. Yeah. I think that's about it, unless you're sort of being friendly-ish with your familiar, like, it's riding on your shoulder or is somewhere on your person.
Yeah, so the spider would be on my right shoulder, my left shoulder, and try to just sort of keep a look behind me. He's the one sneaking up on me, trying to steal from me. Not naming names.
As Takumi is finishing packing up, he notices, I presume, the spider. I mean, I could roll perception, but notices the spider.
The spider's not trying to hide itself.
And
Macaulay is clearly comfortable.
and points a finger towards it and says, Mayor Colley, there's a spider on your shoulder. May I brush it off?
No, while you were sleeping, and the spirit took the form of the spider, and it's here to aid me and us. In fact,
Truly.
it doesn't look like much, but it actually has some interesting skills. Give it a try.
An interesting magic. I hadn't heard of such a thing, although I suppose there is the owl which passed recently.
Yeah, there is the owl. The owl has been a fun thing to observe and help us as a group in its way, but it's not as good as a spider.
I hope it shall be so.
How big is a?
I
How
think
big
it's
is
a normal spider. I think it's
it's not like a giant spider or anything,
like
right?
maybe like a little bit smaller than a tarantula or something like that.
Yeah. So it's like could be sneaky, is what I'm thinking.
Exactly. That thing can hustle. It move 20 feet.
I know, 20 feet. Yeah, crazy fast.
All right.
Okay. So after that, I guess we'd go off to the keep, and when we reach the entrance, announce that we were seeking an audience with Decon.
Okay. As you head towards the keep, how early in the morning did you get up for this? Would you say?
I don't
So
know.
Macaulay would never have slept, so it's really up to him.
Presumably around the same time that other people began going to and fro around the area.
Okay. People that aren't just guards patrolling seem to be getting up around 7 or 8ish.
Okay.
More like 7ish.
All right. Then.
All right. Just around then. So no one stops you or anything as you head towards the main proper. As you arrive to the gate, they are closed. There's a guard standing by the port, really. And he stands there and says, "Halt! Only official business in the main today."
Understood. We've been set to meet with Decon this evening, and we'd like to update the location.
All right. Well, I can get the message on to him when I see him. Did you like that, or did you want to do this person?
If you could pass along to meet us outside the gates, that would be well and good.
All right, outside the gates it is. What time? As soon as possible?
The gentleman said the evening, so a half hour before sunset.
All right, and which gates are we talking about? These gates? Gates to the main district?
The gate to the main. Those opposite the old town market.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, when I see him, I'll pass this along. All right. Do you have a name I should give him?
Takumi.
All right. Well, you're all set. I will do just that.
Very well. So, Takumi's gonna turn and leave and, presumably go outside the main. Is there anything that Mayor Kali wants to do?
No, just eventually work our way back to meeting with the main. Maybe have a bite to eat.
And everyone else in the cavernous crack, what time are you guys waking up?
Whenever someone gets stuck up is when he's gonna work.
Okay.
I think the plan was dawn.
Plan was evening.
Apparently, the plan was in the evening.
Yep. The
Yeah.
plan was evening.
That's when Decon said he would be free to help you.
He said tomorrow night.
Oh man, we got a whole day to kill. Ragnar's gonna sleep in.
Okay. Anybody else gonna wake up early or have any plans for the day? Free to
So
do whatever
Mirkali
you want.
actually, if he has a day, actually like there.
What was it you cut out hard there? What do you need?
Mirkali would like to find a library and spend the day there.
Yeah, of course. Were you just gonna walk the streets until you see like a sign?
No,
for
so
a
it's like
library?
ask the folks at the
scholars?
cavernous.
Cavernous Crack, sure.
Yeah, and see.
Of course. Elise is there at the counter bright and early. She listens to your question. It says, "Well, a library. Besides in the castle and the churches, there's holy books, of course, in all the churches. There's a few libraries in the castle, but the guild halls have some libraries, but they're all pertaining to the different crafts there. You could check if you look. If you go to Old Uptown, there is a man. His name is Jarvan. He owns an emporium. I know he's got a number of interesting books. Jarvan's Emporium in Old Uptown. You can check there if you.
Yeah, that'd be great. I wouldn't mind buying actually even.
All right. Was there anything else anyone else wanted to do, or are we heading up to Jarvan's Emporium?
Yep.
Okay. Mayor Colley, you head on up to Old Uptown. Nobody stops you or anything.
I'll come with him.
Okay, Takumi. The two of you head up onto Old Uptown, passing through the crowds, which are quiet right now, but by the time you get up to Old Uptown, they're a bit busier. You're not running, right? You're just strolling towards it, right?
Yeah, not in any great rush.
Particular rush. Takes about 45 minutes to stroll up there. Are you calling me? No, they're not. Yeah, it takes about 45 minutes to get up there. All the houses up here are very big. They're not quite as big as the manor that Blackwell has, but they're all very intricately designed, beautiful houses. And you stumble upon one building that looks like a house, but has a sign hanging out of it saying Jarvan's Emporium. Place.
Yeah, perfect. So yeah, so is it not? Does it look? It's a. Is it? So is it open?
Yeah, the door is not closed or anything.
Yeah.
You could try it.
Yeah, so just knock on the door and then open it. Try to walk in.
Yeah, no one answers the knock, but as you open the door, you walk into what you assume was once a large opening grand hall for the entrance of this manor. However, now it seems to have been converted into the Emporium. The walls, where you assume typically would be paintings or other things showing off whoever lives here, are instead covered with shelves and books, loads and loads of books. There seems to be mismatched shelving units all across the floor that all hold some books, but mainly it seems like trinkets and baubles. And at the very edge, in front of the grand staircase leading upstairs, is a small counter. You can barely make out a figure seemingly sleeping behind it.
Okay, well, I'll approach, quietly, but not, and just sort of lightly knock on the table in front of him, or
So,
something in front of him.
what you see in front of you is an orc in bluish robes for garb.
An out and out orc.
An orc, full as far as you can tell. It seems like a full-blooded orc. He is asleep in a chair. A little bit of drool is coming down around the left tusk. He's got grayed hair. He seems like a very, very old orc. He's got light gray hair on his head and a light gray beard that's been tied into a knot. He is out cold. Just definitely sleeping, snoring loud.
All right, so I'll just sort of knock on the table or whatever, some piece of wood that's close to him quietly, and a little bit louder until it seems like he's going to wake up from it. Or is there a bell or anything like that? Any kind of...
There is a bell. There's a small bell on the right side of the counter that's hanging. It's a very, very small bell. It's hanging from a little contraption that holds it up. You can ring.
All right, yeah. So I'll do the bell.
Okay. So you ring the bell. At first he doesn't seem to move. His fingers twitch just a little bit. And then after a few more rings, as it gets a little bit louder, he coughs, a little drool and spit coming out of his mouth. He looks up at you, his eyes seemingly unfocused, before he pulls out something from his pocket and puts them on his head. And it's something you've seen in Lumos before, but never on an elf, because elves all have amazing vision. On the few humans that have visited Lumos, they're glasses. Something quite rare in this world. But
and probably pretty hilarious on an orc.
Yeah.
Welcome to Jarvan's Emporium.
Thank you. Sorry for disturbing you. I hope that I'm not so early. That is this a good time?
What time is it?
I guess it's something like 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning.
It's about you're just about right on point. It's about 8:50. That early? Well, I don't typically open till about 2 hours before midday, but I guess I forgot to lock the door again. Now's as good a time as any. It's been a little while since I've had customers. How can I help you?
Yeah, well, that's that. I would like to get a sense of the inventory you have on books, and on the history of Burides, and in particular going back actually pretty far to the role that Burides or people or individuals from Burides may have had in the
Great
really,
War.
but any history that touches on Burides in particular, how it's maybe on its peerage, or, adventures of note.
If you give me just one moment, please.
Sure. Yep.
He slowly stands up, but right as he hits the stride in his stand, he begins to quickly pace off towards towards the west wall of the room. A lot more vigor than you thought this old orc had in him. He heads right on over there, and he starts looking at all the book little titles etched into the sides, and he's looking around, and he says, well, I've got a few history books here. Now, most of these are going to be easy world history and things of that sort. I'm fascinated by history. So I understand your fascination as well. So most of these are going to be very broad strokes. But if you step over here, he says, and he runs over towards the very front of the west wall. Right down here, it's a little more localized. It's the local area, not quite British, but there's a few books here. Yes, that one's by Russell Coy, and yes, History of the Broken Shores by Tad Errol. This one goes back a couple hundred years. If you come this way, he runs to the other east wall now of the Emporium. This one here by Evelyn Smite. This one is. It's been a very long time since I've read it. I think it goes back about 1,500 years. Yes, it's a little earlier than the well, not math, not my great suit. It's a little bit after the Great War, not before the Great War. But there's one by Crannar Porter over here. Yes, Fletl, Great War and Beyond. There's this one right here, and it's not localized, but it does talk about a good amount of history before and after the Great War here on Fletl. Crannar Porter is, or well, he was when he was alive, a very famous historian. This is another good one. Is there something else I may interest you in, or?
So, would Mercalli know any of these?
Crannar Porter comes up as a little bit more familiar, especially if you're in the Great War. Evelyn Smite was somewhat familiar. You think you've heard the name before. The other two, not at all. They are definitely more local, small time writers.
Who was that? That was Coy, and who was the other?
Coy. He didn't. That was he didn't say who the other one.
Oh, okay.
He just pointed. However, yeah.
Oh, I was just gonna say. So, yeah, I would like to pick up the two local books, the Coy, and you didn't mention the author of the other.
Buckley, yes. There's Coy and there's Buckley.
Buckley, and I think also the Everin Smite treatise.
All right. Everin Smite. Here. What else was there? Oh, yes. Well, how could I not have this? He says, and he goes over towards the counter he was at, goes behind it, bends down, and pulls out a large, very large book. This one is much more intricate than the other books, especially than the local books, and it even has gold lining around the edge of the paper, so the actual side of the book looks gold versus the typical paper edge. And there's gold writing on the front of the book as well. This one is by Micaiah Gilcarson. Now, you're an elf, so I assume you know who that is. But he is a very, very famous historian. Now, this doesn't really focus on the local area here, but rather it's an in-depth look on the Great War and the life of Hellwonder. At least the life we know of Hellwonder. It's very interesting. There's a lot of interesting theories, but Micaiah is I want to meet him. But he's inspiration to us all in terms of history.
Is Micaiah still living?
Micaiah's, of course, he's still alive. Micaiah, you have heard of Micaiah Gilcaran. He is from Lumos, but he does most of his time traveling. If you keep close tabs on these sort of historians, you'll know he's actually not on Fletl or Stylland right now. He's in a different continent. But you are aware of his work. This, you're a history buff, so you would know this. You don't even have to make a roll for it. This is not a book you have found before. It's one of his most famous writings, but there are not a lot of copies of it. So you've not like read this book, at least not read the whole thing in the original written text.
Right.
You can tell right away that this is an original, something that's extremely rare.
All right. Well, I would definitely Kaya. So that would be yeah. So if I could get the Everin Semite book, the Coy, the Buckley, and the Micaiah Gil Carson book, then well, that's more than I hoped for.
Well, of course, of course. Let me see. Now, Smite, she's not super well known, but her books are worth a decent. So that's be 5 gold for that. You hear him speaking to himself, counting on his fingers. Coy and Butley, well, I've got too many of their books. I'll take each of them for 1 silver. But Kaya, now this piece, you have heard of this. You know, this is very, very rare piece. I'm willing to part, but it's going to cost you an arm and a leg, say, the least. I got it from a friend. Actually, it was quite a fun night. I won it from a friend in a gambling. What was the pot? I believe the pot was about 50 gold. 55? 55 gold. That was the pot. Well, 55 gold and it's yours.
No problem. That's a deal. Done.
All right. Well, I'll take your gold and you may take the books. And please, please, tell all your friends about Jarvan's Emporium. I need more customers.
Yep, I will.
You young man, did you need anything? He says, speaking to me.
Takumi takes a look at the books and sort of just shakes his head. Those books aren't written the right way.
Well, I've got more than books. This is an emporium, not a library. Is there something else you would like? Anything. In fact, you know what? I'll make you both a special offer. If you need anything, come to me and let me see if I can find it for you. You can give me a week or 2 if it's something very crazy. If it's not, maybe less time, and I can find it for you. I'm good at finding things, and I can get it for you at a discount.
That's perfect. I'm definitely going to take a note of that.
Yeah, magical items will be harder to procure, of course, but alchemical ingredients, curiosities, anything like that. I can do my best. I have my connection.
Well, you make a good offer. I'll definitely keep it in consideration.
All right. Well, please don't be strangers. Here, take these. He goes underneath the desk and pulls out a bunch of pieces of paper, with the words Jarvan's Emporium and a rough sketch of the Emporium's inside on it. Here, please, just hand these out to anybody who seems interested. He gives you a pile of about 25 of them. Please. Free with your books.
Free.
And I've heard they made good toilet paper if you need that.
I would not do that to your well-drawn business materials.
Well, thank you. That's first.
Mercalli, are we set to leave?
We are, yes. Thank you very much. That this was, like I said, more than I hoped for. It's rare to find a good reason to spend gold. This was well worth it.
Thank you, sir.
right. Did you want to head back to the tavern?
Yes.
Okay. At the tavern, this is taken now to travel there. The time you spent there and come back is going to be about an hour and a half, hour and 15, 45, something like that. What is everyone else doing in this time? It's now like 9:30ish, 9 o'clock.
Duck is probably still sleeping hungover, unless anyone got him up.
Everyone else, 9:30ish. Anyone else waking up?
I assume I'm still cracked out on a table.
No. Duck brought Jack up.
Yeah.
Duck carried Jack
At
up.
least would have had someone clean you up.
Okay. Then I guess I'm asleep in a bed then.
Then Markali and Takumi, you arrive back at the cavernous crack. No one's awake, it seems. There's a few people standing around having breakfast, but it's not that busy, not at least compared to the first time you came in.
Niklas would be getting up right about this time.
Okay, Niklas. You come downstairs to the site of Takumi and Markali returning into the cavernous crack. Elise is behind the counter helping the customer, talking to him. What would you like to do?
Sit at the bar, pop open the top of one of the Johnny Jump Ups, and just take a small sip.
Okay. Again, you taste the sweet cider. And Elise smiles at you, happy that you're enjoying Johnny Jump Up. She turns back to help the customer. As for Takumi and Markali, you see Niklas sitting down at the bar. Is there anything you'd like to do?
Mirkali's gonna kind of go into the far corner of the building with his books and just actually gonna scan quickly through the Porter and the Chloe books, and then spend some more time digging into the K.A. Gil Carson book.
Okay.
Since it's our first time coming here, are the guards gonna try and search us?
You guys came in earlier.
Yeah, we've been here before.
To ask about where to.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, they know. They've been told.
Okay. Well, I was just gonna say, probably gonna take another 5 or 10 minutes for that to get done with. But Takumi's just gonna sit close to Markali and take out his own good book and skim through that for a while.
Sure. Are we just gonna spend the rest of the day kind of lounging about until near sunset for the bug hall?
When
Damn it!
Or does anyone have plans?
when Duck eventually does get up, he's gonna look around. He's gonna walk around town for a for like a tanner or like a tailor to find some leather wrappings or like pugilist gloves or like any sort of thing to assist with his primary goal in life.
There are a number of seemingly tanners around. There was a tailor around here that you remember being told from the Newtown Market. That's where the woman gets her clothes. You know the general direction of it. You can remember the general direction. Head over to there, or you can talk to what seems.
Any like armor shops that Duck might have heard of?
And no, you can ask somebody, or you can just aimlessly wander. It's up to you.
Like, I don't want to say blacksmith, but all right, yeah. Duck is gonna shout out his intentions to anyone in the main room, and then proceed.
Okay.
Boy, I'm going shopping. You are free to come with. Goodbye.
Does anybody follow Duck shopping?
Takumi will follow.
Okay.
Closes up his book, hefts his pack, and just sort of trundles behind him.
All right. As the two of you step out into the streets, they're much more lively now. People have set up their stalls and calling out for sales and all those sorts of things. You remember the general direction of the tailor if you want to head there, or you can look around for a blacksmith sign or
Duck is just gonna look around for the most like shop and try and get
please
a price
roll
estimate.
investigation.
All right.
For
Hey,
perception.
Takumi, you wanna help me look around?
I'll just stay with you.
Do you want to give me advantage on the perception check?
Do I? Do it really? You should give me perception advantage.
Too late.
Rip.
You
You are in the only city with no shops.
Yeah. Suddenly all the signs disappear. No, you find what seems to be a blacksmith shop. You see an anvil with a hammer striking it, and it says Willie's Weapons on it.
All right, Willie.
Willie's Smithy.
Willie's.
Oi, Willie. Is that you?
Are you going to step inside? It's kind of a broken down, garbage looking building, but building.
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Go on inside. There's an inside. There seems to be a very small assortment of weapons hanging on a wall behind a counter. It's a small building. There's one or two armor pieces, not very good looking armor, half plates, such, hanging off the wall behind the counter as well. You see a man standing there, very thin, lanky man, thinning hair and sweating profusely, as you do feel the heat is a little bit hotter in this building. He looks up at you and says, I'm Willie.
Hi, Willie. Yeah, I want to commission some studded leather gauntlets or something to help me grab and punch things. Yeah, I want things on my hands made out of leather and metal to help me grab and punch things.
Studded leather gauntlet.
Yeah.
Gauntlet.
Some that'll help me like grip things or people.
Give me 1 second. He bends down below the counter, pulls out something and places it on the table. There you go. He has placed what look like shabby cloth gloves on the table.
Yeah, right. That's not gonna cut it.
That's leather.
All right.
It's clearly not leather.
All right. Yeah, I'm leaving. Boy,
Wait.
Wait.
He puts his hand on the glove, feeling it. Oh wait, that's cloth. 1 minute. Bends down underneath the counter. You hear a little bit more shuffling. Here, and he places it on the table. And this time you see a rather expensive-looking pair of velvety gloves, red gloves, something a lady might wear to a ball.
Or Willie, I grew up in a mountain hunting fucking bears. All right, you're not gonna give me something that isn't really that. I know what leather looks like.
This is. Oh wait.
All right, you get one more chance, Willie.
This is velvet.
If you upset me enough, I might squeeze you.
I'm a blind man. You shouldn't be mean to me.
Go fuck yourself.
He bends down over the counter. A lot more shuffling. You're clanking now as things are obviously falling out of the
blind blacksmith.
I didn't say anything he made was good. And he pulls out this time leather glove. Now there's a few studs on them, but it's nothing
He
much.
smelts by
they're
smell.
They're leather work gloves with a few studs by the knuckles.
Is the leather at least like nicely maintained and high?
Yeah, it's not like there's not like holes in it from bugs or anything like that. It's a nicely maintained pair of gloves, but
thick?
it's yeah, they're a bit thicker. But
Okay.
it's nothing crazy. Like it wouldn't give you a bonus to AC or anything like that. It just
All right, yeah,
gloves.
I'll take them.
Okay.
Do they fit me?
He puts his hand on the table and feels the velvety gloves and goes, "Oh, these feel expensive.
No, not those. These.
Can you put my hand on them?"
Yeah,
He puts
all
his greasy hand out.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, okay. These. I'll take it for 5 silver. You can try them on, but there's a tailor right down the road for better fittings if that's what you need.
I'll give you 3 silver.
3 silver.
Yeah, they're a little shabby. You can't really see it, but they're kind of tarnished. That's why I'm getting them, because I figure they'll be.
What's your name?
Duck.
I trust a man with the name Duck. I'll take him for 3.
All right, here you go. Duck tosses him 3 silver.
He takes the silver, bites down on one of them, and then pockets the rest. All right, well, dude, can I interest you in a sword?
Nope, that's it. Thank you very much,
His left arm goes out and points towards the armor instead of the sword. They're all really good.
Yeah, well, I see that. I'm walking out the door now, Willie. Goodbye.
As they leave, does the blacksmith look over and be like, "I'm watching you as out"?
I was just thinking the same
voice
thing.
wasn't supposed to be that at first, but it definitely became that. Yes, the cutscene. That's the cutscene. You hear that? No.
Is there anyone just on the street?
Anyone on the street?
Yeah.
There's a bunch of random people walking around the street.
Duck is gonna approach one. Alright, hey, you know of any good blacksmith around?
You approach. Are you gonna approach someone at random? Or you're gonna approach someone who looks like they might know.
Someone who Duck think might know.
Okay, so you approach just a working man, I would assume.
Yeah.
And he looks at you and he goes, "Well, there is."
But as long as they're not blind or anything, that would be good.
What kind of blacksmith would be blind?
That's a good question.
I don't know of any blind blacksmiths.
Right.
There's Willie, but I know he needs glasses.
Uh-huh.
But if you head on over to Gannon's, it's about 20-minute walk east that way. It says pointing behind him. 20 minutes down there. He's pretty good.
All right, thank you. I'll do that later. Duck's gonna try on the gloves and go back to the inn.
Okay.
Wait, Gannon's?
Gannon.
Dot, dot.
Dwarf. Okay. What's it called? Duck has arrived at Takumi, sporting new gloves. Was there anything else anybody wanted to do for the day? Nope.
Nope.
Okay. So, sunset approaches. It's about an hour before you assume sunset will occur. Would you like to head up to the gates to talk to Dekon?
Sure.
All right. Jack was mending on the tables that broke. They weren't. Okay. All right. So who's going to meet with Dekon? Is it just Takumi? Is it everybody?
Yeah, Duck is.
I thought we all were gonna go meet him.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go meet him. He is waiting for you. You see as you approach the gates here. His arms crossed. Tracia is the woman's name. She's with him as well. They're standing there. Tracia looks a little more pleasant than Decon. Is everyone disguised, or are we walking normal?
Normal.
I think we're
for
going to use the
now.
rings today, right?
Yeah, but not yet.
Takumi wouldn't leaving the inn.
Okay. So then he does. He recognizes you as you approach. He doesn't say anything, but he does stare you down. Arms crossed. He doesn't move. He waits.
Good evening.
Hell.
He gives no response.
Hello there.
He nods. Tracy, on the other hand, goes, "Why, hello, everybody."
So, we mean to put a stop to what's going on at the Bug Hall. Are you to join us?
He sighs and looks straight at you, Takumi, and says, "Am I to help a man who attacked a lord of the city in his own home?"
Yes. You're also to help a man who's going to put a stop to others being attacked in their own homes. That lord himself has done nothing to help.
You have broken the law. I am not to help you.
As has he through his indifference.
He has much to do, to my knowledge. Blackwell is a good man. He will get to it as soon as he can. However, attacking someone in their own home with intention to kill does not make a good man.
I never once intended to kill him.
Drawing steel and attacking him sounds like intention to kill.
I'm a paladin. I contain in my body healing magics capable of preventing death. His life was never in any danger.
He shrugs at it and says, "You attacked a man in his own home. I will not follow someone like that into battle."
What if he was like behind you?
What I do is my business. However, Tracia here doesn't seem to care. Against my better judgment, she wishes to go with you.
So it is as he said, that you are truly at his beck and call. Nothing more than a lapdog of a man who cares nothing for justice.
Do not speak to me of justice. I am aware of principle of justice. Do you understand? You are below me to speak to me of such things. Now,
Don't writhe around acting as if you're high and mighty when you're following a man who doesn't care what happens to his own town.
That's gonna put his hand over Takumi's mouth and be like, "Right, yeah, funny prank. Haha, we really got."
In any case, no, you will not have my help. You have crossed the line. Tracia will do as she please. However, I will not be there to aid you.
Very well. If you choose to be a coward, so be it.
He looks at you very angrily, but continues to stand there with his hands crossed. If there is nothing else to do, I have a war table to stand at.
With
Oh,
hands
yeah, it's a
crossed,
table.
contributing oh so much, I'm sure.
Go stand at your table.
With that, he turns around and walks back.
Do be sure not to get any splinters at the table.
I'm sorry about him. He's a bit of a prude when it comes to these things. But I'm more than happy to help you.
I mean, I think everyone's being a bit of a prick right now.
I'm afraid I have been told I can't command any men, guards, or any come help. But you do have my help. Shall we head to the bug hall?
Indeed.
Let's do it.
All right. Shall I lead the way, or am I following you?
I'll go first.
All right, big man. She says, stepping behind you. Duck, you're gonna lead everyone down to the bug hall?
Yep. But he doesn't know where it is, so he's just gonna start walking.
Is anyone directing him down there?
Nicholas will.
Ragnar will.
Niklas and Ragnar, the two of you. Niklas, can you make a perception check for me while you guys are walking? Cool. Niklas, you see a small glint off the side, the left side of the road. Like a piece of metal on the ground. Now, typically, this would not be something of concern, but the glint stays in your eye moments longer than you would expect a normal one to. No one else sees it. Would you like to investigate it or just keep going?
I'm going to investigate that. That's a bit odd. Want me to roll an investigation check or something?
Well, no, you can approach it, or like
Yeah, I'm gonna.
This is like 5 or 6 feet away. You can approach to go see what it is.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Okay. Niklas, you split off from the group for a second and see the glint. As you get closer to it, it looks like a solid gold coin. However, there's a strange symbol on the front. It's a black symbol on this coin with it's a black bell on the front. And if you pick it up and look at the back, there is the face of a lady quite similar to the face Tamora had in her on the glass back at Ferris. But one side is the face of Tamora, and the other side is this black bell on this gold. Would you like to pocket it, take it? What would you like to do?
I'm gonna go ahead and pocket it for now. It's a bit odd. Before going back to the rest.
We should disguise ourselves, shouldn't we? Alright, it's now the time to use those bracelets.
Well, if you like to disguise yourselves, I stick out like a sore thumb. Tracia says. So you walk.
Oh,
Wait.
I'm wearing my finest cape for just this occasion.
Wait. Actually, who gives a fuck who we are? Alright, can't we just walk in there and kill everything?
Well, no. We should just kill everything. We don't know.
Duck, if it tries to kill you, you can kill it.
Yeah, I think that's a good rule.
Also, if it doesn't try to kill you, you could probably still. Like, you're a big
Hey,
dude.
Barracks,
I'm not telling you one way or the other.
Alright, yeah. I hear you.
All right. Is anybody going to disguise themselves or no? You just gonna
Yeah, so we have Mikali will use his thing.
The bracelet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nikolai's also just gonna cast mage armor because I'm afraid of arrows.
All right. Is anyone else disguising or no?
Yeah, Ragnar's gonna disguise himself.
Okay, Jackson's thaumaturgy in his eyes. Waterfalls. Okay, sure. Jack does that. But Niklas, you're not disguising, right? Duck, you're not disguising.
Nope.
Oh no, I'm wearing my
You're
finest cape.
undisguised.
It is a shade lighter than the others.
Damn it! Should we go check out our capes, guys? Ragnar's Jack.
I guess since we're just headed right to the front door, no real point.
As you approach the bug hall, Niklas, you catch the eyes of the two seemingly guards you saw earlier when you went to St. Ferris Church. They stand outside the door, the entrance to this large, what used to be a church, and they nod at the group of you. They don't say anything. They look similar to the brigands you saw attacking you. They're wearing the same sort of armor. They are not motioning to do anything to you.
Greetings. We've come to talk to your mother, of sorts.
My mother's dead.
Alright, I tried it the nice way. Let us in, so that we may talk to your queen, or I kill you where you stand.
He looks at you and smirks. The other guard on the other side speaks up. Door's not locked.
Wonderful. I'm going in. Duck, you may kill them if you wish.
Oh, alright. You said it, not me.
It's not a smart idea, buddy. One of them steps back a bit and puts his hand towards his mace.
How many are there?
There's only two.
I said I wouldn't kill you.
Are they blocking
Can
me?
Ragnar
No, they're
can
standing on the
stand
side
over
of the door. They're not blocking the door. They're like standing outside of the door on the side.
Or do you
Like
take
this
issue
door-
with going in?
No, we said the door is unlocked. The bug hall isn't off limits to anybody.
Ah.
And Nicholas is going in. He just said, Duck, if you want to kill them, you can.
Alright, right. If you give me a wrong look, I'm gonna crush your skull. Or that's gonna try and
gods.
intimidate them.
Violent. One of them says and takes his hands off his weapon as they go back to leaning against the wall. And you step inside the bug hall. Let me just do this real quick. You guys can see this because this is all lit up. You can see all the nothing back, but you can see basically all the way down here because all this is lit by different means of lighting. As you step into this church building, you find yourselves looking into what looks like a large mess hall. Instead of thieves and brigands, you see beyond these counters here peasants, young kids, women, children, men, of all different ages, sizes, and sorts, eating and seemingly talking with one another. And this room is very, very loud as there's a lot of talking going on, but there doesn't seem to be much else so far. As you can see, it just seems to be almost like a very, very, very large inn, but it's packed with children running around playing games with each other. The only thing is, almost every single one of them seems to be poor. They're not wearing expensive clothing or anything of the sort. They're all wearing what you could call rags, or something you would see on a beggar.
Thugga's gonna stage whisper to the party. Oh, no one said there were kids. Strangers things.
Tracy looks around and says, "Well, this is quite different for a church."
So we see no one with any weapons or guards or anything.
There's a few walking around, but they seem to be talking to some of the people or the kids. You know, they're not really like guarding anything. They're just kind of walking around. But no one that seems to step up with hostile intentions. This is like a very large lunchroom, is what you're looking at. Is what it looks like.
Shall we go deeper?
And approach the counter. There are two women behind the counter.
Are there any doors leading further in, or is this just a single?
This is right now what you see is you see the walls to the left and the right. These look like there's seating areas there. I just didn't put seating areas here because I don't really have assets for that. But like this whole area is just seems like seating areas. There's some people loitering around back here. But no, you don't see doors or anything. You see like an opening like over here, kind of like into another hall on either side. But you don't see any like doors or anything. It's like a large open area. It's just a large mess hall looking sort of thing.
All right. I guess Ragnar will kind of slowly move up.
All right. You approach the counter, and one of the women speaks up, looking at you, steps towards where you're stepping, and says, "Hello. Welcome to the Bug Hall. How can I help you?"
We're here in search of some ruffians we were told would be here, but all I see are children.
Well, the poor like to come here to spend the night, so to have somewhere to sleep, so they're not sleeping on the streets.
That's a dastardly front you have going there.
Dastardly. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Ain't no way anyone's burning this place down with orphan children and.
Well, it's a building made mainly of stone. I don't think anyone's burning it down, but there are. This is where the poor live. I instead of living out on the streets. I don't. You can more than welcome to eat here if you'd like.
Where's your hidden
Donovan
army?
does a good job.
Where's your hidden army?
Hidden army?
Yeah. You're like sneaky assassin. Is it the children?
Assassins.
Are they child assassins?
Well, there was a fight that broke out once, a couple months ago, and I know Larry killed Broad.
Insight check.
Fight. Okay, roll it. She's telling the truth. Larry killed Broad. That was horrible business. We don't let Larry in here anymore.
Fucking Larry, hey?
Yeah, alright.
It's just if you would like to come in, I need to take your names, and I can give you little cards so that we can keep track of when you're in and out. That's all.
Well then, let's check ourselves in, shall we?
Of course, I'm ready whenever you are.
Yeah.
My name is Gregor McLean,
Okay. This woman doesn't have a name. Counter woman. All right, you are Gregor McLean. Let me just do this. She pulls out a card from underneath the counter and a quill with some ink and writes Gregor McLean on there. She writes it on another card as well. The second card, she sticks it into the counter.
I'm going
and
to point to each person behind me.
Oh God.
In order. And these are my friends: Inky, Blinky, Pinky, Clyde, Jeffrey, Marshall, Tracia of the 12 Dragon Claws.
Hello.
I'm Marshall.
Hello, it's me, Blinky.
She begins to write all these names down, smiling. Good lord. She begins to write all these names down, smiling, and hands you all a card with the name that was pointed at you.
I pointed to Ragnar and said Pinky.
And then says, well,
he likes to go by Mr. Pink.
I will give you the card back, or the second card, when you leave. And then just keep it. When you come back, give it to me, and I can keep a tab of who's in and who's out. Understand?
Still clear.
Sounds good.
Go eat whenever you're ready. Sit down, have a chat. If you have friends, you can probably find them pretty easily. And have a nice day. I don't think there's any tent open tonight, but if you find an open space, you're more than welcome to sleep.
Very kind of you.
Of course. Oh, and before you go, Gregor, I have something for you.
She, yes, me, yes.
She leans beneath the, or she bends down below the counter again, pulls a piece out, and it's a large gold coin with a black spider on it. It says, "This is for you."
I knew it.
Wait, is it a gold coin with a black image of a spider or a black spider?
Not an actual black spider. Like, there's like, it's a black
okay.
spider.
I was like, that is a very well-behaved spider.
No. Enjoy your stay at the Bug Home.
Thank you.
Do you have any, like, secret back rooms that we should know about?
Well, this is an old church, so there's crypts down below, but those are off limits.
Why are they off limits?
Well, they're crypts.
Well, yeah, but like maybe we clean them out
dead.
for you.
Clean them out?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but we
we're
have
professional
priests
cleaners.
who take care of that.
Well, I'm a priest. You haven't heard of the line of Blinky?
I have our own.
I'm Blinky the Fourth.
And in any case,
Crypts are cool. They're fun to explore.
I'm a priest of Pelor.
If you head upstairs, you can find a few places to sit. You can find a few places to look over the mess hall. There's a blacksmith. He can help you out. But there's nowhere really else to go here.
Alright, thank you for your help. You've been very helpful. Tell my priestly father about you.
Alright, just if you could please. My name's Tina. She pulls out a piece of paper. Just, if you want to fill this out when you have time, it is an employee grade report. Just, if you could tell I did a good job, and then sign it at the bottom, I get a raise. So please take it.
What's in it for me?
I'll take it.
You'll make a very happy Tina.
Happy enough to let me in the crypts?
No. Sorry, that's just, I would lose my job.
Right, okay.
Alright?
Alright, let's go, fellas. Pinky with me. Inky on my left. Which one was Inky again?
I point at Irisvale.
Ah. Yes, come along, Inky.
Okay. Tracia follows a lot of you, saying,
Well, never expected someone to use a church like this for the poor.
you guys can move up, by the way. You're clear to start moving into the action.
As we're walking up, I'm gonna take a look at that coin she gave me.
The other side is smooth, nothing's on it, but the side with the spider it's a gold coin and it's got the black spider on the inside, inscribed onto it. But there's seemingly nothing else very special. Very intricate looking. Coin. Are we loitering? Are we walking around? How are we?
I'm going to walk around and try and get an idea of the layout of the place and try and spot anything out of the ordinary. As far as out of the ordinary goes for this.
So, Duck, you stumbled onto a workshop, it seems. There's people hammering away on anvils. They seem to be making different things. One person looks like he's making the hilt to a weapon. Another person looks like he's making the head of a hammer, a work hammer, that sort of thing. Everyone else seems like they've passed into the tent area, the sleeping areas. There's a large number, more than this. There's more than like 6 tents per side. A lot of tents. That's just the visual representation on each side. Irisvale, you're walking into a room that's full of barrels and other storage things. It seems like this is where they store dry goods or other goods that they're going to be using for cooking or anything like that. You see a few stoves, and other necessities for comfortable living. Nothing crazy. Let me do this real quick. Walk here. Tracia is following Takumi, and she says, "Oh, what are we doing?"
Waiting for combat to start.
Oh, okay. I will be ready when that happens. She smiled. Yeah, you currently just see, like I said, seems like a converted church into a sleeping area. Second. Oh, hold on. You see a stairwell, no door blocking it. They seem to go upstairs. The other stairwell, there was a door blocking it. The voices of all the commoners echoes loudly throughout the church. You can see more people standing up top on the second level, looking down into the mess hall below, all chatting and seemingly pleasantly talking.
Does this stairwell go up or down?
Up. The one you're at is up.
Okay. I'm gonna go back to the commoners and try and overhear anything of note and try and get an idea as to, like, I guess ask around and inquire a few people as to how long they've been here, have they seen anything odd, what's the deal with the spider coin.
So,
firstly, the conversation you overhear, a few people are saying. You hear two kids say, "I miss Rod," and the other one says, "I know. Larry's dick." You also hear a few people talking about what you assume is their day and that sort of thing. But as you begin to talk to the people yourself, is there anyone specific you're looking for, like a kid maybe, or an adult, or like an old man or a woman?
I'm gonna go for probably the person who looks like they've been here the longest.
So there's an old man at this table, right over here, laughing and talking to a lot of people. He seems to be telling a lot of stories about times as a youngster around this area, so you think he might be someone who's been here for a long time. Would you like to approach him and talk to him?
I would.
Okay.
And I'll just ask him his name.
Oh, hello. My name is Axel. I've never met you before. I haven't seen you around. What's your name?
Gregory McLean. I'm a reporter of sorts.
Meridius is getting bigger by the day. I haven't heard of reporters outside of King's People's Retreat.
Well, I'm a traveling reporter. I'm trying to find out more about what's going on in this town.
Of course. I hear it all. I see it all. What would you like to know?
Well, tell me more about this building. It seems odd.
Oh, this church. This used to be a massive church built to Tamora. Now, what, like 100 years ago? I'm not longer than 100, maybe 200. A long time ago. History's not my forte, but a long time ago, it was a church to Tamora. Now, part of the building burnt down, and they had to rebuild it. However, eventually got abandoned, and the St. Farah's church was built instead, and that's where Tamora's blessings occur now. However, now these nice people have converted it into a place for us to sleep, a place for us to eat, so we're not on the streets at night. That's why it's called the Bug Hall. We're poor, we bring in the bug.
And who are these nice people?
Well, there's Zakar, he's upstairs, he's a nice guy. There's Claire, she's a nice woman. There's Tina, she's new, but she helps run the place. Met her at the bar. At the corner, or the counter, you'd have to. Or maybe talk to Adrian. Which one did you talk to?
Oh, Tina, she was wonderful. She gave me an odd coin,
nice.
though.
She gave you a coin?
Indeed.
Let me see. She never gives me coins. That's no fair.
I'll show him the spider coin.
He looks down at the spider coin, smiles, and looks up at you. That's a nice coin. Don't know where she got it.
Never seen anything like this.
Well, I've seen spiders before, and I've seen gold coins, but never one on a gold coin.
What about one like this? And I'm gonna pull out the one that had the black bell on it.
Oh, let me see.
He flips it over.
I think that's Tamora on the back. That's a lucky sign, you know. Black bell. Black bell. I know a black bell. There's a slaving company out in People's Retreat named Black Bell. Don't know why you would get this coin. I don't think they have their own currency, but here you go.
In my experience, there's no such thing as luck.
I'm lucky to have this place. We all are.
At this point, a little girl runs up to you, and you feel her tugging at your cape, and she goes, Mister, this is nice. Where'd you get this?
Do you want to know the whole story or just the exciting parts?
Ooh, exciting!
Let me tell you the story of a pirate.
Ooh, pirate!
At this point, a few other kids have now come around you. You're swamped by about 7 or 8 children who are all listening intently to your every word.
I'm gonna call whoever from the party is nearest.
I don't think anybody. I guess Iris Vale's closest.
So I'll get Iris Vale's attention and give her the information that I just got about Zakar, Claire, and Adrian. And I will hand you the spider coin as I regale these children with a swashbuckling tale of pirates and princesses and mages on the high seas.
Okay.
Hopefully it will cause a suitable-ish distraction of sorts.
Well, Iris Vale, you have learned Zakar is upstairs from Niklas. He's given you this coin. Everyone else, you seem to be around this door. What would you like to do?
Oh yeah, we're trying to bust it open.
All right. This door does not bust open with a simple punch. How are you? Like, what are you?
Is it locked?
There is no visible lock from the side you're on.
It's barred from the inside or something?
I don't know. The only thing you can see is there's a hatch on it, around eye level. Besides natural power. What are you gonna do with that? Suddenly, from the other side of the door, you hear a
Yes, he's going to die.
from the other side of the door. You're not quite sure where it's from. Only one person. Collie's slowly making his way over.
I'm just thinking of a good way to get in there. I'm sure there's someone on the other side that we would need to trick to let us in.
Tracia is also with you as she is behind Kumi.
We could maybe, if there's enough room, maybe my spider friend can go under the door, just slide underneath the door, perhaps.
I mean, right now the door it's completely shut. There's not. It's almost seemingly airtight below and
Okay.
above. The spider doesn't seem to be able to sneak in there. The eye hole would be big enough for it to sneak into, but it's definitely not able to crawl in there without that. All right, let's hear it.
Well, I can cast Mage Hand on the other side, I believe. I can only lift 10 pounds.
Yeah, you could. You could cast Mage Hand on the other side.
Okay, I'm gonna try that.
Okay. It's invisible, right?
Yes, sir.
You can't see, so you have Mage Hand. Whereabouts on the door are you gonna cast?
Can I cast it somewhere where I can't see? It just says point I choose within range.
Yeah, that's fine. That's what I'm saying. You can cast it. I would say you can imagine the other side of this door and cast it on the door. But if you thought about casting it in the room, beyond the door, the stairwell, or whatever, you wouldn't know where it would be. It could be like on the other side of the wall at the edge of your range, or something like that.
Right, yeah, so I'd cast it like right up against the door on the other side.
Okay, like where on the door though? Would you want it where you think a door handle would be, where you think a bar would be, where you think where the latch is? Like, what would you like?
Let's do, like where I would think a handle would be. And
Okay.
I assume I can feel through my Mage Hand.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. You can feel through your Mage Hand. You don't feel a handle or anything of the sort where you summoned your hand.
Okay, I'll move it up to. I'll tell Mercalli, get your spider ready to go through. And I'll use my Mage Hand to move up to like where the eye slit is and see if there's a way to.
You find a little latch, which you feel is like a knob to pull aside the eye slit. Is your spider ready to go through? How are we setting that up?
Sending Jonas on through.
All right.
So I open it just wide enough for the spider to get through.
Okay, you're not gonna open it all the way. You just go up a little bit.
No, it's a little bit. It a little bit.
Okay. It does not creak when you open it. It just opens a tiny bit. For a split second, you have sight past the room. You see a dimly lit area. You see what looks like stairwell. But that's about it. Do you close the eye slot after?
Yeah, I would. As soon as the spider's through, it'd be closed.
Slide it closed. All right. Mercalli, you have your spider on the other side of this door. So this is what we're going to do. Do you have a piece of paper and a pen with you?
I can get one.
All right.
All right, 1 second, sorry.
Yeah, no, take your time. As for everyone else, are they going to wait for Mercalli to report back, or?
I'll wait for Mercalli.
Okay.
Duck is gonna keep a watch around. See if anyone's spying on us.
Around this point, Niklas has jumped up on top of a table to continue telling the story with his sword.
Axel seems extremely enthused, and as do the kids, as more and more people are crowding around the table to listen to you.
I'm ready anytime.
Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. I have a map, but I'm gonna try this out. Something I heard someone else and it sounded fun. I'm going to explain to you what you see.
Okay.
You have the choice to draw your own map as you're going through, instead of showing you the actual.
That's how I used to do it, actually.
Yeah, I think that'd be a lot of fun. You'll see the actual map eventually if you go down there, but for now, you're gonna have to. This is you remembering it and describing it back to everyone. Just real quick, what's the range on your familiar? How far can he get from?
Let me see. So 100 feet.
100 feet.
I'm pretty sure familiars can go any distance away from you, but you just can't control them or contact them past a certain distance.
Yeah, it's 100 feet, and they can maintain telepathic communication.
But you can still see through their eyes, though.
Yeah, it says up to. Looks like that's 100 feet.
Yeah, I would say telepathic communication would include seeing through them up to 100. Right, that would be.
Yeah. I mean, I'll paste in.
Okay. I just gotta measure now. You can communicate additionally as an action, see through your familiar's eyes, and hear what it hears until the start of your next benefit. Okay, cool.
So it is weird because additionally as an action, you can see through your familiar eyes. Doesn't actually specify the range. The range is just communicating with it telepathically, like telling it.
Well,
left or
I'm
right.
assuming that the telepathic communication includes its visual and hearing.
Okay.
Because it would be that's the telepathic communication you're gaining from it. It's all. That's why when it says additionally as an action, I think it's all within the 100 feet. Because otherwise, afterwards, it's just a spider that's going to go around. You can tell it to go and continue and just go all the way to the end and back, but you're going to lose visual contact of it within 100. I'm thinking.
Okay, first, before it gets too far in,
1 second.
can it take a look?
Yeah, the main thing is there anyone there? You guys
Yeah.
heard noises.
Well, yes. So the first thing you see is there is somebody standing right by the door. He's or not standing. He's sitting on a wooden chair. Hold on 1 second. Anyway, sorry about that. Yes, there is someone sitting to the right of the door in a wooden chair. He's looking at his dagger, playing with it. He looks like one of the brigands that was walking around or that you've fought before. He's just playing with his dagger, flipping it around. That's the first thing you see, as well as the stairwell that goes spiraling down towards what you assume is.
All right.
Would you like to continue down to the crypt?
I'm actually wondering if
Or would you like to look at the door?
I'm just wondering if I could cast a useful spell through the spider. But I don't really have a useful spell that would work that way. Okay.
Okay.
Yep. So I guess just walk by him. I guess the main thing is we want to know is because ultimately, just speaking to the party softly, we're going to want to probably break down this door, right? So I guess the most useful information to know would be, so there is a brigand, there is someone, a shady character on the other side of this door.
Yes.
No question about that. And he looks like the kind of people that we've been coming up against.
Yeah. Similar armor style.
Yeah. And so, okay. So anyway, yeah. So the spider, send Jonas on forward.
Is he going to look at the door at all, or is he just going to go?
Yeah, he'll look at the door.
Okay.
Yeah.
There are no handles on the door. In fact, from this side, you don't even think you can see hinges on the door. The only handle is that little ice. The rest of the door is smooth.
Like as if it would go up into the ceiling. Like is it a portcullis type door?
As if that might be what it does, or go side or go left. But it doesn't seem like there's a manual contraption visually to move it.
Does the man seem to have any keys or amulet or anything that?
Nope.
Anything on him? No. All right.
Nope. You can roll an investigation if you want with the spider to see if you can figure something out.
Yeah, just curious to see if there's some
That's good enough. On further inspection of the door, you don't see any indication that it can move up, left, right, or down into the wall. In fact, on closer investigation with your spider on the actual door, it doesn't even seem almost like real wood. You can conclude that this is somehow magically controlled, whether that is through an amulet or a spoken word or something of the sort.
Mhm.
It doesn't seem like the door moves, rather than either evaporates, disappears, or something of the other sort that you've seen before with magical.
All right. All right. Well, continue on then down the ways and see.
All right. You head on down the stairs. It takes Spider a few moments to get down there, but once he does, he sees straight ahead a hall. The How do I explain this? The stairwell spits him out down a hall with, to the left seems like a solid wall, while to the right seems like there might be a room. But it's about 5 or 6 feet to get out of this hall. Would you like to head down the hall and
Yep.
continue down?
Mhm.
Okay. As you head down the hall, you come upon a door to the right, and then the hall opens up towards the right as a wall stops in front of you. So it's as if there's a bend in the hall that goes right, and there's a door to the right to the room.
Okay.
This door does have room for your spider to go underneath. It's just a normal looking wooden door with a little bit of clearance.
Okay. So he'll go through there.
So in here you see about 7 or 8 of those brigand types sitting around a table with what seems to be alcohol. Coins are on the table, and they look to be playing some sort of card game. They're speaking, but mainly it seems to be they're talking trash about each other and the stuff. Nothing seemingly juicy.
Are there any other exits from this room?
No, it's just that one door that was behind you.
So were there any other openings then, or was it just go down the stairs and there's a door?
There's the door, and then but the hall continues. The hall just bends.
Oh, the hall does continue. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so he'll head back to the hallway then.
Okay, so now the hall bends to the right, around another wall, and then back down, back straight ahead instead of bending to the right. It's hard tapping plainly. Now, if you continue straight down the hall to the right, again seems like now like solid wall, but to the left, you can see light coming through a room. There is an iron gate that is like a portcullis sitting in front of a room. Inside this room, as you're passing by, unless you want to go into it, this iron gate, it's a room full of chests, many of them open, full of gold pieces, copper pieces, silver pieces. There's jewelry, there's expensive looking armor. It looks to be some sort of treasury room full of expensive looking items. There's expensive looking cloths, paintings, and it's very, very big. It's not super wide, but it's very deep. But it's full of what looks like thousands and thousands and thousands upon thousands of gold pieces.
Wow.
Will you continue down the
Yeah,
down
continue down sort of that main hall. Yeah.
Okay, so continuing down the main hall, you pass a few more doors. Would you like on your left? Would you like to go into them or no?
Yeah.
Heading into them, you find if you head into all of them, it's going to be the same thing. There's 3 doors on the left side, and each one has a couple bunk beds in them. Everyone has one or two of them have somebody sleeping in them, but it looks to be places where some of these people sleep. And if
Okay.
you head further down the hall now, there is an opening, like a doorway, but no door blocking it. And to it's a room that opens up to the forward and to the left. I can explain that right. And you see a number of what seems like torture devices and other unsavory things that you may use to extract information from people who are not willing to give this information.
Oh, so not tortured people, just a room of
No.
torture.
No.
Is it like a room?
Is there a what?
It's a room.
It's a room. It's a room that has an opening to the left, on the left edge of the room, and an opening on the far edge of
Okay. I think my map is going to start getting a little crimped.
the
How far are we out at this point? Like,
You can feel that you're about to lose vision.
I was gonna
You're probably
say,
like
I think we must be pretty
95.
far. And so there's no, as I've been going along these three doors to the left, and then this sort of opening to the torture chamber. There's nothing on the right hand side on that wall.
No. On the right hand side of the wall, you can tell quite obviously that this is like the edge, like beyond it's all packed dirt. It's
Right.
it's the edge of the actual it's a finished, like old finished church wall.
Right. And I guess all along this way, we've not really obvious way to open the door down here in the first place.
No.
Okay. All right. I'm just gonna have the spider disappear and then reappear next to me.
Okay. It does just that.
And so I just relay this to everybody and try to describe the map that I have here. I'll see if I can get that up in Discord so people can see.
Cool. And as for Mercalli, as you explain what you've seen, a bell ringing at the top of this church starts going. You hear a lot of commotion coming from the mess hall as people, Niklas, you see this as well, as people quickly jump up and are leaving their food and rushing towards the back of the church itself, right over here. I'm on the right. Yeah, people are running past the tents and everything, gushing into the back of the church here. As the bell in the church itself is ringing loudly. Tracia, after listening to you, Mercalli, says, "Well, that's odd. It's not on the hour yet, I don't think. Why is the bell ringing?" And as she's saying that, Mercalli, you hear a very, very faint ringing in your ears. Not the bell ringing, but almost like one of your crap, what's it called? When one of the receptors in your ears die. That ringing, that sort of ringing.
Tinnitus or
tinnitus, yeah, or tetanitis or something like that.
Tetanus.
You hear almost as if like just a very faint scream in the edge of your ear. It makes you feel a bit uncomfortable, but nothing too bad. Jack, your head is screaming. Something is it feels like you're boiling from the inside out. Your head is screaming with pain, and you're suddenly surrounded by bandits.
What does my magical switchblade have to say about this?
Nothing. Your magical switchblade is nothing's happening to you. But right now, all your friends are gone. All you see are bandits brandishing blades, ready to attack you. You see bandits running by you. Everyone around you looks like a bandit ready to kill you. And you feel very much, or you see, this is the scene you see before you. How do you react?
I trust my magical switchblade and I just stand there.
Okay. This screaming pain does not dull as you do this. You. What is everyone else as this has happened? Tracia is starting to walk away from the group. She's starting to walk towards the exit of the church.
Well, so Tracy, where are you going?
Something's not right. The bells only ring under certain circumstances, and one of them is attack. You do remember the bells ringing at the main when that hag showed up. But the bells ringing here is very odd. So either the hall is under attack, in which case we need to go see what's going on, or the city's under attack, in which case I need to leave.
Oh, I get it.
And there's this faint ringing. I don't understand what it is, but it's not the bell. Does anyone else hear it?
I hear a very faint ringing, but it's not much.
It's strange, isn't it? All right. I'm going to go see what's going on.
Yeah, I'll come with you. All right.
Lizards in my eyes look distressed.
The lizards in your eyes look very distressed. In fact, as thaumaturgy concentration, oh, they're gone. It's only 1 minute.
Yeah.
But in any case, you are hurting very bad right now.
I will pray.
You will pray? Okay. You'll pray to Talos?
My main man.
Okay. Can you please roll a d20 for me? Actually, roll a religion check. Roll a religion check.
That instead. Because I get a bonus to those.
Yeah. Okay. Suddenly the ringing subsides and the visions of bandits around you disappear as you see that they're actually just your companions, and the running bandits were all the poor people running to the back of the church. A soothing voice hums over you as you feel calm. The ringing's gone. Mercalli, you still have a small ringing.
That was strange.
Oh, I'm sorry, Iris Vale. You also have a ringing, but it's very, very faint, like Mercalli's, like Tracy is saying. Your ear is ringing, but very faint. Alright. Tracy's heading towards the door. Is anyone following her?
So,
Yeah,
do
Duck
we
is.
have any understanding, from our an arcana perspective, or something? What this
Yeah,
could mean?
actually. Roll Arcana for me. Oh, that's
Nice.
awesome. You got nice. Mercalli, you can't pinpoint it, but someone's casting a spell. You can feel the influence of arcane magic, but for whatever reason, it's barely effective. You don't know why, but it's almost as if there's not enough of something in you for it to affect.
Interesting.
Cast detect magic.
If you want, you can cast detect. I mean, Mercalli, do you share this with everybody?
Oh yeah. No, I definitely say that, and including with the women, that there is some kind of magical event taking place.
It's probably not within 30 feet, but, you know.
Magic. Well, it's not being cast within 30 feet of you, but you can't detect the magic exactly, but this is weird. How do I explain? If you sense magic in this way, you can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic. Okay, so we'll do this. You see small streams of this magical aura boring into Iris Vale's, Tracia's, and Mercalli's ears.
Huh.
Your own as well, if you look to the left and right.
Mine any different, or
No, they're all the same.
are they
You
all
see it
pointing
being
in the same
You
direction?
see it being deflected and not entering Duck or Takumi or Niklas or Ragnar. It's not entering any of them. It's around them, but it's not entering. It is entering yours, Iris Vale's, Mercalli's, and Tracy.
So it's targeting spellcasters?
I don't know. You can make your own assumptions on it.
That sounds
That's
reasonable.
what I'm smelling.
If you're relaying that information, Ragnar would tell you it's inaccurate because it's not targeted.
Oh yeah, what about the owl?
Owl's fine. It's just those people that I've said. Niklas, everyone's running away from you. What are you doing?
My first thought is to ask someone who's running away what's going on.
Okay. You pull someone aside to ask what's going on, and she hurriedly looks at you, trying to pull herself away. We're under attack! It's the safest in the back of the church! Come on! As she tries to run away towards the back of the church.
That being the case, I'm running to the front of the church.
Okay. Is anyone else following Tracy towards the front of the church? Is everyone or nobody?
Okay. Yep, I'll follow
Okay,
Tracy.
so-
Yeah, so is Doug.
So as you are at the front of the church, about to exit, the doors are wide open as more and more people are trying to pour in. This time, it's not just old people; it's people. I'm sorry, not just poor-looking people. There's rich-looking people. There's middle-class-looking people. It seems like anybody who needs shelter from something is running in here. As Tracia steps out, everyone roll perception for me.
There was a war going on. I forgot about that.
Looks good to me.
Oh my god. So, I'm gonna message this to you. I'm gonna message to three of you. Give me one. Actually, you know what? We'll do this all in voice. Can Mercalli, Jack, and Ragnar please come with me to Cybele?
Oh no.
So it's good news, huh?
Somehow I
I wasn't cool enough.
Sorry, man. You're among friends.
All right. As you exit the church, you hear what you heard. Everyone hears a roar as you look towards the main, and you see a large bronze dragon lifting off from the main, roaring, and beginning to breathe fire down on the city. As towards the east, a smaller green dragon is flying into the east part of the city, breathing down a poison breath. Not just the bug hall bell is ringing, but now that you're outside and can hear all of it, it seems like every bell in the city is ringing. As Tracia turns to all of you and says, "It's the Korths. We're under attack." And that's tonight's session.
Boy.
Talk about a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Is it dragons?
A large bronze dragon and a smaller green dragon. Seemingly not attacking each other. They're breathing their breath weapons on the city.
Must have been the wind.
I like how a bunch of people weren't perceptive enough to see dragons.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Half dragon.
Well, they showed up. The dragons showed up, like they showed up suddenly, right? So.
Yeah, you saw it. How do I?
I don't think that the sidebar wasn't about the fact that we saw the dragons. It was.
No, it had to do with an auditory thing or something else. But the bronze dragon was like lifting up out of the main, and the green dragon was flying over the eastern part of the city. That's what you saw.
That's kind of weird that a bronze dragon would be attacking people because they're lawful good.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
Spooky.
Doesn't surprise me though.
Well, I mean, yeah.
What if that...
I'm not gonna give anything away. You guys have a week to get your theories in.
Maybe we're all lawbreakers.
It's actually just painted.
What if the green dragon is the good aligned one?
Well, no, the green dragon's spitting poison on people.
Fair, but they could be,
The bad people. Yeah. I don't know, there's a spell. Yeah, I'll shut up. Anyway,
Thinking the spell targets people with better intelligence modifiers, because, you know, reasons.
I think Ragnar has a high. That's beside the point.
I don't know.
Ragnar has high intelligence.
Duck does not have a.
Oh, did they rework the character sheets? Oh no, it's just not low. Anyway, thank you all for showing up for tonight's session.
Yeah, anytime. This is a good one.
I'm gonna go to bed now.
Yeah,
Go to
same.
bed. It's late. Yeah, that's why I was like, I gotta end it soon.